Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Sunday live stream. Well, I got 3 laptops on the docket that all have issues. I haven't looked at them yet, so hopefully we will have a good one today. Hope everyone's doing well. Hello, streaming loading 199%. Enjoy the show, everyone. Hello from Argentina. Semper, how you doing? Good morning, JFix. Woohoo! What tool am I using for ESR? To measure ESR. ESR. What is ESR? Like, I don't know. Oh my gosh. Discrete GPU, everyone. You gotta let me know. Remember, I'm self-taught, so everything, yeah. What is ESR again? It's Sunday. Siberia, Canada, or Kenya is here. Topeka, Kansas. Romania. Good morning. Vote twice. Vote on Twitch and on the old tube, on the old YouTube. Ohio, Romania. Hello, everyone. All right, so I'm a little bit tired today. I don't know. I didn't sleep well, and I'm a little bit under the weather. I have also, I'm experimenting with 60 frames per second on this stream. So tell me if it seems better or not. I don't know. We are sending out 60 frames per second. Hello from Australia, Indiana. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, ESP measurement tool. Is that what ESR meant? Yeah, I'm trying to think of what, like, ESR like sounds like electronic or electro something. Let's see. Russia, Siberia, Vancouver, Boise, Idaho. Good morning. Peak Electronics do good ESR measurement. Hello from Colorado. Green juice. I don't have green juice today. I took a vitamin B and some vitamin D's this morning, so ESR is the new green juice. The 60 frames per second is making you look tireder than normal. I am tired than normal. You can tell I'm a little slow. I mean, I've been up for a few hours. I'm just like, I have not been able to wake up. My head is just grogged out. I think I'm just supposed to be sick. No, 24 frames per second is cinematic. That's right. That's what I'm saying. 24 frames per second. But I put it in 60. I don't know. People want 60. I'm sending 60. We'll see. Hello, Johnny V. Hello, good morning. So the 3 laptops we have, go ahead and vote. We have about 8 minutes left on voting. So basically, we have 3 different laptops that came in. One of them that came in local. This one's one I worked on before. It's an M18R1. They brought it in for a fan replacement a while back. He just brought it back, and then the jack on the board, not the DC jack separate, but the jack on the board is completely melted. So, and I don't know if the machine works or what. I don't know. I mean, we definitely have to change that out. And we've done that before. It's kind of a pain in the butt. And so that's as far as I know on that one. Groves, good. Thank you for the 3 months. Save another laptop tier. Thank you. So, and then the other 2, let's see, M15R7, the GPU is not detected. The NVIDIA GPU is just not there. It's just missing. I don't know, missing in action. And then we have the M15R3, shorts out the charger when we plug it in. So, 24 frames per second is theater mode. That's what I'm saying. I've been doing 30 frames per second. People complain. So, okay. Equivalent series resistance. Equivalent series resistance. What do I use? I can tell you what I measure with. I have this cheap multimeter, and I have an O-scope if I need to use it. But this is the only thing I use. That's all I use. I don't need anything fancy for where I'm going. I don't need anything fancy. So, so equivalent series resistance is the internal AC resistance of a capacitor causing energy loss and heat. Low ESR capacitors, stop moving, chat. Minimal voltage ripple and prevent overheating of electronics. Oh, so I don't measure any of that stuff. So the answer is I don't. I don't measure any of that stuff. Sorry, bro. Sorry, bro. I'm just not fancy. I don't even have a fluke meter. I don't have any of that stuff. Like the way I think about it is everything's really basic. You're trying to basically detect different issues. You're trying to collect clues, and then you're trying to logically figure out what's causing what. And then you're replacing the components that are bad, and then that gets you going again. So 24 frames per second is all the human eye can see. Yeah, except that it looks sometimes jittery whenever I'm doing stuff. So. Hello, I'm Circuit Breaker. ESR is mainly measured on capacitors. Yeah, I get that. So ESR capacitor, because that's why I recognize ESR capacitors, but I didn't know if there was some sort of ESR tool or something. Let's see. You don't need the best, you just need what works. That's 100% right. Thank you for that, Semper. That's right. Had a great email exchange with one of your texts. Michael. Yeah, Michael is actually my tech here for 10 years, running the repair department. And he responded within 10 minutes to try to figure out what the new Alienware 16 Aurora laptop is assembled with Element 31, which it is. Yeah. It depends on if it's the highest end model or not. Like if you got the highest end, it definitely has it, but if the lower end, some of them are touch and goes on different chips. So it looks like we do have a Hype Train level 1 on Twitch right now. So if you want to go over there and use your Prime Twitch or Prime account, and you can subscribe there and participate in that, appreciate it. Twitch resubs are not showing up. Oh, yeah, I guess not. Oh, interesting. Stream Elements is a piece of work. Appreciate you resubbing. Let's see if I can see the resubs in here. Oh yeah, it looks like Buck resubbed for 4 months. Thank you for that. That's weird that's not showing up there. I don't understand, man. It doesn't make sense. All these little tools, you have to have all these things like connected together, and so there's supposed to be this other Stream Elements thing showing up on there that, I don't know. Oh, you know what? Do we have, no, we have them all in the chat. Let me see if I pull up my other chat window here. Maybe it'll tell me that. Events. The events are not showing anything. Oh, there we go. There we go. I can see the resub here on this other screen, so maybe I'll have this screen up here. That way I can see it. LLM is stronger than 60 frames per second. So anyway, tell me if the 60 frames per second looks good. I think, is YouTube streaming at 60 frames? I did check that Twitch has 60 frames, so let me know what you guys think on that. If it does make a difference or not, or if it's making it worse, I don't know. I have a Dell G Series 5515, and it's not posting, but the keyboard and fans are on, but not even Dell logo is appearing. I tried BIOS recovery and installed a new BIOS, but still nothing. G5515, that's the AMD edition, is that right? AMD? Because if it's AMD, yeah, you might just need to write a new BIOS for it. So 60 frames looks great. Like always, picture is great. Video is all good. Next week you need 1440. Let me see what my task manager is saying if I can do 1440. Let's see. So task manager says I'm only at 50% for my GPU. So yeah, I mean, we could try 1440. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. 1440, 1441, I don't know. We'll try it. Yeah, 1080p 60 looks very smooth. Yeah, the transitions, that's what I'm thinking. Like the transitions might look better, right? That's a little cleaner. I don't know. It's all experimentation. It's just whether I can get the encoding right. So 3 more minutes left on the voting. Again, we have 3 different laptops. They are all different problems. Lots of problems. They all got problems. And let's see. Why is this cut off here? There we go. So I might as well put the vote up there. 1080p 60 is looking good on YouTube. Audio is great. Audio is good too. Hey, man, I got 2 for 2 on that this week, right? YouTube is buffering a little. Okay, well, sorry about that. Doc, are you up and running, walking around yet, Doc? How are you doing? I'm wondering, because so Doc had surgery a while back. He was hospitalized for a while, and then he was touch and go whether he'd be able to use his legs, and now he's supposed to be able to walk. Do a clap sync. Clap sync. Should be good. Action. Action, action. I should try 4K. I don't know if I want to push 4K up. I don't know. Broadcast at 8K. Okay, ESR, now it stands for Emotional Support Repair. That's what the ESR. So how do I measure my emotional, my ESR? Okay, so it's on a daily basis. I figure out if I win a couple repairs, then that feels pretty good. I put it on a chart. That's how I measure it. But whenever I lose those repairs, whenever I can't fix something, it makes me so mad and sad. For bandwidth, I'm watching at 480p 30. Man, that's cell phone power. That's like an old cell phone. Oh yeah, this is shout out Jack. Look at this. This isn't my shirt. Jack, I don't know if he's here today. Jack, are you here? Anyway, he brought this shirt to me. He came in and said, "Here, I got you a shirt." It makes sense, right? Words are hard. That's how it is. He knows me so well. He knows me so well. BIOS programmer is in the description. Yeah, so if you need to reprogram that 5515, those are actually really easy. If it is AMD, you can just flash the BIOS right on there from Dell's website. Yes. Let's see, what did it say? White is using a cane. So Doc White is up and walking around with a cane. So that's great to hear. Thank you for the update on that. Ask Blanche. She'll measure it. You know what? We need to set up a Betty White. That's what we need to do. So Blanche is my Windows 10 install. I need to set up a Betty White Windows 11 install. I think that's what we want to do. And then we need to figure out who's Windows 12 going to be. I don't know. No, Windows 12, please, please, please. You just got out of the hospital, James. No. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're out of the hospital. That's good. Okay, doing 1080p 60. Nice. Okay, so the voting is done. Everyone wants to see this melted DC jack. I think that was the least favorite on the list because it's going to be more just like we got to change this port out, so it's less diagnosing, I guess. Until we put it on. We can do a Benny Hill 20. The Windows 12 can be our Benny Hill account. That would be funny. Oh gosh, Betty White for Windows 11? Cool. We're gonna have to set that up though. Maybe we'll do that together. Okay, so number one is gonna be our melted DC jack because we got 72% on Twitch. Number two will be our GPU not detected because we got 40% on the YouTube. All right, so that's what we got cooking there. And we can get going, or we can spend a couple more minutes chatting here. Let's see while everyone piles in. Windows, let's see. Granny from Golden Girls. Oh, we should do Granny. Is that her name? What was Granny's name? The oldest lady. I cannot remember. Oh my gosh. Will we see Windows 12? Well, if you think about the upgrade cycle, like Windows 10 came out in 2015, and then Windows 11 came out in 21. So then 26 would be the next one, and I know they were talking about it already. Which I thought that Windows 10 would have been the forever operating system. That seemed better to me. I don't really understand why they had to change it, but I guess they wanted to put all the AI in there. So, and it's funny, I just use these AI tools, I use tools that were developed by AI to remove AI, and then when you do a Windows update, it all comes back again. But XP for extra special for Betty White. We should do an XP install. Yeah, the oldest one, the oldest. I have, oh, so Windows 12 RC is already out. Okay, so Doc has RC. Granny is Sophia. All right, so we should do a Sophia and a Rose. Windows 12 is already overdue. Yeah, I'm so fed up with just the whole system in general with all this stuff. So Windows is dead after Windows 10. And Windows 10 was solid. I didn't have any issues with it because you can actually strip it down if you needed to. We need more voters. Okay, are we good to go? We ready to start? I'm not looking forward to this. I look down at this laptop and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Can somebody else do this for me? I'm tired. I just want to banter. I just want to talk for a while. Let me pull it out so I can show you exactly what we're working with, and then maybe you guys would be like, hey, no, actually, I don't want to do that. The motherboard's already out because it's messed up. I think it is. Is it out? Oh, no, it's not. I thought the motherboard was out already. This is a local repair that, and my other tech started working on it. And he noticed the DC jack. So let me just show you real quick. We'll do a little intro since we have it kind of together, and then we can start working on it. But okay, so let's see what we got. 12 needs a Roach Motel. That's so true. Oh my gosh, look at this, guys. I didn't even get to see this yet. I just heard about it. That's probably one of the worst burned up DC jacks I've ever seen. So this is a M18R1, I think. Yeah, it's an R1. And so these use 330 watt chargers, and we have it completely cauterized. Do you think this is saving this port, or should we replace it? I'm going to do an intro. We're just going to look at this real quick. I just want to kind of get my head around it too. Yeah, so this looks pretty messed up. Now, I don't know if there's anything else wrong with it, so we'll just we'll go with it. Well, what's his description? The description says power button doesn't work. The description says power button doesn't work. Customer states power button doesn't work. Oh my God, you're kidding. Okay, all right. We'll do an intro on this. I don't really know what I'm going to say. Hopefully I'm not going to bomb like I did last week. Last stream I was bombing on every intro, so we'll see what we got here. All right, new day and another laptop that needs to be saved, and this time we have an Alienware M18R1. Now, this one came in because the power button didn't work, but my tech opened it up and noticed that the DC jack was completely melted. So I haven't taken a look at this yet. Let's take a look together and see if we can get this figured out. Okay, I guess that was okay. It wasn't that bad. So obviously we have a motherboard that the customer brought it in because the power button doesn't work. And whenever my other tech opened it up, he did see that we have a completely burned DC jack input port. And this will need to be addressed first. Now, I don't know if the motherboard works. The odds are that there's something else going on too, because if we have a short somewhere, we have an issue. But it could be the case where the DC jack was just partially plugged in, causing some sort of arcing or some sort of cauterization of the jack. Let me see if we can pull the jack out. We want to see the other part of this. Here's his wife or husband. I guess this would be the husband. That's the wife. The wife is the one that's all bruised up. The husband has been taken to the cleaners. God. Look at that. That is crazy. Now, I don't know if I guess maybe he had to pull it out, and so he destroyed it in the process pulling it out, but words are hard. Words are hard. It's hard to describe what I'm seeing right here. So, hot damn. All right, so I don't know. I mean, what do you guys want to do? I mean, I think just replacing this is going to be the first step, but we could just kind of try to scratch all this stuff out of here, see if we can jam a DC jack in there to see if we can get the thing to turn on, figure out what the steps are, because whenever I fix things, I want to figure out, I don't want to do too much one direction before I go the other direction. So I don't even know if the board works. So is this the first step, is fixing this? I don't know if that's the first step or not. Plug it in with the battery, is that what people wanted me to do? That might be a smart solution. I think probably 10 people have said that by now. I think I saw it a couple times. So they have a battery here. Let's see if the battery even has any charge. Let's see. Bzz. Nope. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, resub for 8 months. There you go. Hey, the alerts are coming in again. What happened to that? Maybe I don't have the alerts on my that one view. I bet that's what it is. I bet that's what it is, because this view has it. So thank you for that. All right, so battery has voltage, 10.8 volts. Pretty good, pretty good. So if the battery has 10.8 volts, then should we have our other voltages? Let's see if the main power rail is there. Voltmeter. Oh, thank you. So I added where I could take this off the screen, so you guys gonna have to remember, and maybe I should add a command for you guys. But I wanted to take it off the screen, so like if I ever had to edit the video, I need to get that thing out of my way. So there you go. Thank you. All right, so battery has 10.8 volts. I can show that to you again. Here, let's just prove it. The proof is in the pudding. So 10.8 volts on the battery. All right, so now let's just check to see if the main power rail has voltage. So it should be battery voltage on there. The way I do that is I just go to any power rail or power supply that's being created. This one only has one on this side, so this is the battery, the DDR5, and so this would be our main power rail right here. We have 10.8. So the main power rail is energized, so we do have voltage there, and I don't know if 10.8 is enough to turn on this machine, but we should try. We should try. And the power button's actually inside of this when you plug this guy in here, but then that's hooked to this other board. So I don't even know if the power button's even hooked up on here. So we need to take a look at this. No META. Oh, are y'all delayed? Y'all are delayed or something, because we've already got the meter. Is the voltmeter still not working? Come on. Come on. I think we're good. Everyone should be on board here. We have the voltmeter. All right, let me take this back out of here. Working. Worky. I like that better. All right, I'm going to take the motherboard out for a second because I want to make sure we do have a power button. So we do have a power button routed here, and I see a power button in the bin, so I'm assuming my tech changed the power button. So I don't know. So let's try that. Let's just see if the thing powers on. You guys are smart. We want to see if it powers on before we start going a little bit further and going through and having to replace that. And that's crazy. I mean, what do you think? So honestly, do you think that it was just the DC jack not plugged in all the way and causing this arcing, or do you think that the DC jack went thermonuclear because there's a short on the board? Or a bad design. Third option would be like a RTX 5090 problem or something, right? Or 4090, where it melts the connector. All right, so we have that plugged in. I'm thinking bad connection. It's kind of what I'm thinking. But I don't know. I don't know. All right, so aftermarket. Does he have aftermarket? No, he's OEM. This guy's actually, he's brought it to us before. So OEM charger, like the high dollar one too, like the really heavy duty one. Measure it. What am I measuring? Fake charge. Nope. Pressing power button. I'm going to get a battery that's more charged than that because 10.8 is not very charged. Let me grab another battery. I want more power. Who wants more power? I still don't know why I use that Arnold Schwarzenegger voice all the time. Can you guys explain that to me? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't ever speak in Arnold Schwarzenegger voice other times. But whenever I say more power, I need more power. Oh. Hello there, Barry. How you doing? All right, so this battery should have more voltage, MOS voltage. And I don't see any power lights or anything. More cowbell. That's an SNL skit. All right, it's not powering on to me. Let me see how much voltage we have on this battery. Oh, let me close the pole. The pole is still up. There we go. Voltage on this battery is 11, so it's more. Get the chopper. Maybe that's what the chopper and the power. That's what it is. You didn't plug the cable in with the button. Oh. Here's your sign. Okay, guys. All right. You could tell I'm a little bit out of it or something. I have no idea. Okay. So there's a power button board on the other side of this, and then it goes to this that needs to be plugged in the board. So A plus B equals C, all right? So we need to have this plugged in to make the power button work. God, what are you talking about? Doesn't make sense. Okay, thank you guys. Hey, we have power light. Wait, how do we have power light? Power light. The motherboard is not screwed in, so it's very janky. It wants to fall out. Okay, hold on. See, this guy smokes, by the way. Very smoky. Take the rest of the day off. Dave says I need to just leave. I need to get out of here. Okay, power button. The power button has been pressed, and now it's back off again. I don't think this thing's working. Hot wire it. I know. Do I smell something burning? You know, I just realized there's a power button on this board. Not all of these have a power button. There's a power button right here. We have the power right here. I don't get what's going on. I don't know. Okay, I'm done with this. I'm going to pull this thing out real quick. I just want to put it on the bench because I don't even know if anything is getting hot or turning on. I can't measure anything on this side. So I'm going to do that, put the screen up here, just a test screen. Battery. Let's see. What else do we need? And then we have our power button, so we're good. That's all we need. It's been alien abducted. Oh, gosh. Get over there. This laptop needs a Nicorette gum, I can tell you that, though. It's definitely smells like a bar or something. Get the Nicorette gum. Blown fuse? You wish. You wish we had a blown fuse. There's no blown fuses. This laptop, Dell does not use fuses. They use them sparingly. They put a fuse on the screen, on the camera sometimes. That's it. You might get lucky if there's a fuse on the screen. They don't believe in fuses. I don't know what it is. Do you believe in fuses? How's this thing plug in? It's a burnt PCB layer. Well, it better not be. I don't like it when layers are burned. Not a big fan of this. Yeah, I'm not feeling too well. You could tell. I'm a little bit crazy. There's something off with me today. Okay, so let's see. Let me plug this in. Visual inspection. Oh man, you might be a little bit smarter than me. Yeah, visual inspection might be a good idea too. What I wanted to do is at least measure some stuff. So that will be part of my visual inspection. But I like where you're going with that. So I at least have a screen plugged in, a battery plugged in, and then we have a 3 volt and a 5 volt here. This is all just kind of what I'm trying to do. I want to be able to do this, press this button, and then measure. All right, let's measure. Do we have voltage? We have our 3.3. And we have our 5. I can't believe. Okay, so we have those two things. And the chipset is on, maybe? Darn it, I don't have my thermal camera running. Oh, gosh. The stream is jiggling. Jiggle, jiggle. Is the stream jiggling, guys? I'm juggling. I'm juggling streams. Oh, 3 and 5 confirmed. Main power rail confirmed. I pressed the power button. Power button light confirmed. That comes on. I mean, it seems like the board should post, but it would go through a CMOS reset. It is warm. I'm just trying to get the thermal camera pulled up here so I can see what is hot, what's toasty. And still Sunday. No, I'm smooth. I'm a smooth operator. Screen is rock solid. Okay, good. So it's only one complaint in the world. Come on, thermal camera. Boot. Yeah, where we're going, we don't need blown fuses. I think I can get a thermal camera up at some point. What the what? Why is it so tiny? That's tiny. Okay. That's weird. Let me close this app out. Have yours ever been small like that there, JFix? That was kind of small. It loaded on my cell phone screen that small too. I don't know. There we go. That's regulation. Okay. We got it regulation now. I got to get rid of that. It always puts like lines on the screen when I have the charger plugged in at the same time. So, okay. I got it running on battery now. It should be nice and smooth. Okay. There we go. Now we're cooking with bacon grease. All right. So chipset is on. It's spicy. And CPU is probably on. The IR camera is smaller than me. Smaller than average. Now, this thing should be going through a CMOS reset starting on the battery. It will still take a long time, but the fans haven't spun up one time. And I'm trying to, this thing is so big, I'm trying to move this over. I can't move it over far enough to actually measure in this area. This is where I want to measure. So I got to figure out how I'm going to do this. And we might just get picture for all I know in a second. We might just get picture. Yeah, it is hot. See if I can get this in the right angle. I want to measure right there. Can't see. Am I getting there? No, it's so big. This thing is too big. I can't reach it. Oh, tilt the scope to the side. Gosh, you guys are too smart. Okay, yes, look at you. Look at you. Who is this? Who is that? Credit. Semper. Okay. All right. People keep getting credited. All right, so this is the battery. So we got 10.4 on there. This is our power management chip over here. Is that a burn hole? What is that? You'll see that? Or is that just a... I don't know what that is. I think it's just a discoloration. Is it, Jerry, there's shrinkage. No, it's a discoloration. That's another line from Seinfeld, actually, where George thinks there's something on his lip. It's just, it's like a strange discoloration. What about BIOS? Do we have voltage on our BIOS? We have voltage on our BIOS. So this thing should actually have picture. Where's our picture? Are we still waiting for it? I'll plug a keyboard into this thing. Oh, and then we'll replace that port. I just want to make sure this thing's working before I put too much work into it. I'm trying to fix the other stuff, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Voltage at the LCD. Oh, that's a smart one, but it's scary too. I hate measuring at the LCD, but I will do that. Give me a second here. Let me just plug this in. I'm going to see if I get caps lock. I got caps lock. I can't believe. Is my test screen no good? You know, I've been having issues with this test screen. Oh. Let's go. I'm going to show you guys something, and you guys just need to yell at me, all right? And hopefully I didn't cause any issues. Let me unplug this. You know that I have issues, okay? And today I have extra issues. It's the wrong freaking screen. Wrong screen. I think it's because I usually grab it out of this one slot, and then this screen was in this slot. So I just kind of grabbed it in autopilot. Wrong screen, Eddie. Nothing but the best, Clark. Okay. I was wondering why it was like weird to plug in. Just jam it in the hole. No, it's the same plug. It should have the same pin out, but this is a stream without green juice. You guys can tell that I'm like all over the place. We need green juice. You know what? Actually, I have a cayenne pepper and lemonade in the fridge. Let me go grab that. Actually, that would give me a little boost. That would give me a boost. I'll turn this on while we're waiting. Does he have any coffee? You guys want me to perform on demand so bad. And it's very hard to perform on demand. If you don't know this, that's one of the hardest things to do. Yeah, I got my coffee. It's cold right here. Dude, 100 A's. I don't even know what those are, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for the content and greetings from Australia. Hello to Harris. 100 sounds like a lot. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I need to get hydrated. I need to drink the rest of my coffee. I'm going to go grab that lemonade. I'm going to boot this thing up while I run to the break room. Or you guys can just tell me to quit. Be like, you're not performing well enough, so you just need to stop streaming now. Just stop the stream. All right, so I'm going to set that up like that. And caps lock may come on here in a second. You may get a screen here. I'll be right back. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer. Just wait longer. Although you can hear me because my microphone's wireless. So just talk amongst yourselves while I go get this. I don't have green juice. I should have bought an extra green juice. This time I bought like a cayenne and lemonade thing, but that'll give me some sugar. Maybe it'll sharpen up my senses. I don't know. What? Anyway. Okay. Asset acquired. Inbound. Yeah, so it's lemon and cayenne. That's what it is. That will clean you out. All right, we will see. Do we have the machine on yet? Caw, caw. No, not yet. Okay, 100 days, 69 bucks. What? Man, well that's, thank you so much for that. Definitely helps out. Helps out for all these crazy rabbit holes I go through. Oh, okay, but y'all heard me all the way there. So this is what I got. This is all I got. It's the only thing I can use today. So hopefully this snaps me out of my grog. And a nap would have helped too. I'm actually watching an old stream from someone from Australia that donated 100 also. Oh, that's funny. It was $57. Wow. Whoa. That's spicy too. Wow, that would hit you in the face. There's not much sugar in there, so it's very tart. And then it has like cayenne. Wow. Okay. All right. Hopefully that wakes me up. 96 just is 69 rotated. That's funny. All right. Funk done. What's that? Funk gone. Funk gone. Yeah. Hopefully my funk is gone. Oh man, this is getting warmer. Getting warmer. Still don't have a screen on though. Taste like a pledge. Oh yeah, this is it's proper. It's proper. I do need more of it though. Rating out of 10. Rating out of 10. Let me think. It's crazy. It's like right when you start drinking it, it's like I don't know. I put it like a 7, 6. Wolfie just sent 5 gifted sub memberships. Thank you. Thank you for that. So Sean, Reboot, G-Ray, and Livis, and Rebecca, or Beckham, all got memberships. Thank you so much for that. Wolfie, you're the man. Is this thing even on? Is this thing live? Feels warm. Chugga, chugga, chugga. Drink, drink, drink. All right, do we have this? We have 3.3, 5 volts. Okay, I'm gonna reboot this one more time. Because I mean, we don't even have our caps lock now, which I felt like we did before. You may need water in your throat now. Yeah, I don't know. My stomach actually feels weird. Is the main thing I'm thinking about right now. Because I had coffee. I was drinking that coffee, and then I mixed it with that lemon stuff. It feels like it's like curdling in my stomach with milk. Oh, I don't know. There's something going on in my stomach right now. What did I do? What did you guys do? Oh my gosh. Okay, let me see if I can power this thing off and power it back on without resetting. I'm just gonna hit the power button. Run to the toilet quick, but mute the mic first. Hold down the power button. 50% just the EC damage. I hope not. I just dealt with another one of these with the EC. It was the EC, it was the ITE chip, and like a couple MOSFETs and then some other resistors and all this stuff. I'm just like, I can't handle it. I'm so tired of all this EC business. All right, it's back on. Oh. Yeah, let me check the backlight circuit now since I plugged the wrong screen in here. We might need to check that. I need a coffee drip intravenously. Just send it right into the bloodstream. Okay, where's the button? I can't reach the button to change the camera. There we go, thank you. It's like magic. You wish, and you will receive. Thank you for that, Semper. Okay, so we're gonna measure this right here. Like trying to get in position. Sometimes these 18-inch laptops are really hard to deal with. Oh, we don't have 18 volts on there. I don't have our 20 volts on our screen. We have 10.4 there, and we don't there. Okay, so this fuse is blown. We got a blown fuse. Likely story. Did you just say you wanted a blown fuse? You get a blown fuse. You get a blown fuse. All right, so that fuse is blown. Okay, let me change that out. And that's probably just because I plugged in another screen, I guess. Fuses. Fuses. Here we go. Who said fuse earlier? I don't think the problem is a fuse, though. I think, unfortunately, I'm the problem on that one. Because I didn't have my lemon juice yet. That's why. Why? Because. Should I do a Soren fuse or should I do a real fuse? Have you ever seen Soren with his fuses? I mean, Soren should at least put like a 1 ohm resistor or something. I mean, 0 ohm resistor. But he literally just puts a wire or a solder ball across it. And he's like, good. Good. So, I mean, a pack of these fuses didn't cost that much. I got tons of these. I got a plethora. It's not a fuse. Yeah, this is a fuse right here. It's weird. It looks like a capacitor, but it's a fuse. I don't know why. They're white, and they are fuses. right, let me pull this thing off of here. Do you have a worse repair story? Oh gosh. Oh, do I have a best repair story? Worst repair stories are just all my repairs that are long and drawn out. And then sometimes you win, but no, I mean these repairs where I spend so many hours on it, like I'm working on one right now that I've already replaced like 9 components, and I feel like I'm getting closer, and then the next thing you know, the machine doesn't turn on anymore. And so now I'm back to square one again. So it's kind of, I don't know. Those are hard questions. I can't think of something right off the bat, but the one I'm working on right now, I'm pretty irritated about. Okay, so that one's out, and now we're going to put this one in. This is a properly calibrated fuse. And who said it was a fuse again? Oh gosh. Pineapple pizza is great. I do like pineapple pizza actually. All right, let's get a picture and let's move on. The diode looks twisted, not flat. Which diode are we talking about? Yeah, it's flat enough. It is kind of like, it's leaning. It's in 3-wheel motion mode. If you know the reference, that's a car with hydraulics. Dell only. That's it. Dell and Alienware. I know. Why? Because. All right, let me. See if I can get back to the screen. Let me plug this back in. We need to get picture. We need to get voltage on all these things. And then we can actually replace that port. And the video stream on the microscope feed is bugged. Is it? Is it not good? Is it no good? I can reboot the microscope camera. Sometimes that makes it a little bit better. 10 minutes ago I said fuse. I know. Don't you love it whenever you're right? Don't you love it? I love it. I don't mind being wrong, by the way, guys. That's what's great about it. Is like everybody working together as a team. You guys are my brain trust, you know? So we got 10.5 there. Got 10.5 there. Okay, so let's just let this go. And let me hook this back up here. The microscope looks okay. It's a little bit reflecty here, but and I can't push it. Let me make sure we have our 3.3s on here too. The stream is stable. It's rock hard, rock stable. We have our 3.3 also. So that's the main thing we need, is that this is our 20 volts for the screen and a 3.3. So let's get that running and see if we can get our screen and then move on to the next step. The next phase, which is not something I'm interested in doing anyway, but you will have to do. So it should be running. And so anyway, this thing has that burnt connector, and in order to actually like not waste your time, you want to go one step forward and make sure that we actually have the machine running. We have 3.3 running, we have 5 volt running. We have our main power rail. We have now all of our screen voltages. I have a test screen hooked up, and at one point we actually did get a caps lock, and so now we have to let it sit there and go through its little CMOS reset to actually get back to the caps lock running, which means we should get a picture on the screen when that happens. So we're just not getting any fans, which I think is just pretty funny. You're still saying the EC chip, but didn't we? I mean, this was working, right? So if we got it that far, I mean, it still could be something else, chipset or something like that. And since we had that explosion, it's pretty crazy. Is that NF Flux? No, this one is the Black Horse Repairs. This is Omega 559 RA, and then I have the Whiskey Tango. I have both of those. And while this is booting up, actually, we can... Wolfie just sent 5 more gifted subs, gifted memberships. Man, you are the man. Dave and Hearth just got some memberships. And who else? NA and WS and Omega. Nice. Congratulations, guys. You have 30 days membership. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that, Wolfie. We think you blew the EC chip. Oh, gosh. You better not. You better not. You better not say that to me. Okay, if that's the case, then I'm going to be not happy. Let's see. Let's see. Let me make sure the BIOS chip is on. Oh my gosh. My brain trust is turning on me. Everybody is turning on me. Let's see what we got. 3.3. We got 3.3, we got 5 volts, and we have our screen on, and we have voltage to the BIOS chip. So to me, I feel like we're running. And the board's on. Yeah, so you see the chipset's on, the actual, all this stuff is on. I think it's still going through a CMOS reset, which takes forever. It takes like 5 minutes. We need another Dr. Sonic. Mark, you know that Dr. Sonic was a fraud, so I don't want any more of them Dr. Sonics. Wolfie is our Dr. Sonic. That's right. Wolfie will be our Dr. Sonic from here on out. But Dr. Sonic donated 400 subs or memberships, and it was just all fraud. They didn't, none of it materialized or anything like that. It was just for fun. Yeah, fans are not spinning. Are the fans even plugged in? Because we had never got fan spin. Fans are plugged in. I mean, it's getting hot though. I mean, this thing is really hot too. No Dr. Sonic again. Plus, that was a pain in the butt with all those memberships coming in. It was kind of distracting on the stream. I'm going to turn this thing back off. Invisible money. Premise here? No, I did talk to Premise though. He's doing all right. He's been kind of down and out for a little while, and so he's kind of trying to recover from something, and he said it'll maybe be a few more streams and he'll be back. So Premise is, I have confirmed his well-being, but he's kind of doing his thing until he comes back. So there we go. We got picture. I can't believe. All right. We got picture. I can't believe. All right. So you guys, are y'all back? Are we together again? Are we not far, you know, because everyone was starting. I felt like we had a mutiny going on here for a second. We're good to go. We have picture. The laptop does function. It's just the DC jack plug. Okay. It's alive! It's alive! All right, so I'm going to turn this thing off. We've confirmed functionality, and we are good to go. Woo! I feel much better too. Glad Premise is okay. All right, so I'm going to remove the screen. Now we get to go through the long, stupid process of changing out that port, which I don't want to do. Or did everyone change their vote now? Did you change your vote now that you know the machine works? Because if the machine works, then all it is just changing the port. And that's kind of boring. I was actually thinking the machine didn't work, so you got me there. Okay, so if we are going to proceed on this, here's what we have to do. We have to put this thing on a preheater. I have to take the heatsink off, by the way. Take the heatsink off. It did have liquid metal on it before, but he had it in here a while back, and we changed it out, so it has PTM on there. And then we'll have to preheat this, and then we'll have to heat this off of here. But first we have to go heat another board and take it off of that board first, because I don't have new of these connectors. I think we did end up finding some on AliExpress, but I'm going to have to take it off a donor board anyway. The vote is locked. We're locked and loaded. There's no turning back now, right? It's a one-way street. Thanks for the update on Premise. Yeah, no problem. I voted for the GPU not detected, so I'm still waiting for it. Next. Okay, here. Can we... we do have a vote in there. Okay, so vote says change connector or next laptop. So change connector is a yes, and next laptop is a no. So just make sure you vote correctly there. So change connector is a yes, and no means move on. No means move on to the next laptop. People want to see that thing change. 6 months. Thank you there, DDT. Thank you for that. Or 8 months. It's weird because this screen says 6 months and this other screen says 8 months. I don't know about that. Is that regulation? Something going on. Something weird. All right, so no means next stream, or next repair. No means next repair. Yeah, when you do these polls, make sure it's just a single yes or no. So change connector would be yes. Next laptop would be no, but 68 months, 6'8", whatever. Oh God, that stuff that's hardcore. It's hardcore. Something's fishy here. No, 56%. Or do y'all want to see what the poll says? Here, y'all see the polls there. What is it saying here? There we go. Nah, we ain't no quitters. All right, so I see people, it's so mixed though. This is the problem, but Twitch wants to see it. Twitch wants to see this connector changed out. I can see that in their eyes. I'll take the heatsink off while we're waiting because it's only a couple minutes here. Connector equals easy Sunday roast. Yeah, and I actually have to dodge out early today too, by the way. Sorry, I'll tell you that. I have to take my daughter to sleepaway camp out of town. So I only have 2 hours left today. So instead of a 4-hour stream, I'm only doing a 3-hour stream. So lo siento for that. More viewers on YouTube. There's always more viewers on YouTube, but it's the vote percentage. So right now we have about 50 or 40 people voting on Twitch. Twitch has 150 people and we only have 40 votes. Come on, guys. Twitchers, get your Twitchy on. So heatsink is off. I'll have to take this off anyway if I'm going to do it or not. So, gosh, I don't want to do this. But it looks like we're doing it. Looks like we're doing it. Go with YouTube. YouTube is a 50-50. I want to go with YouTube. That's going to be perfect. 6, 7. 2 minutes left, and we still only have 45 votes on Twitch with 157 voters. Come on, people. YouTube has 222 voters. It's about 25% with 850 people. So I guess 25% of the people are voting. I guess that's normal. Sorry I'm late for the funeral. For my funeral. Yeah, this is a funeral for sure. 6, 7 cheers. Gritty is always good for the 6, 7 cheers. No, 52%. Now it's 50-50 exactly on YouTube. God, that's crazy. All right, so the choice is change this connector out. We've already confirmed the board works. Change this connector out or go to the next repair, which is a GPU not detected. So if you want to see me, it will take, let's see, how long will this take? 25 minutes, maybe? Something like that, because we have to take another one off of a different board first, and then we have to take this one off and then move it over. Maybe 20 minutes. Whatever it takes. All right, looks like, yeah, it looks like everyone wants to have this connector replaced. So I'll get the preheater going so we can quit the yammering, quit that yammering and talking. Although we'll have plenty of time to talk while this thing's warming up. So that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. Yada da da, dee 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 dee. 5 minutes max. Ooh. Okay. Someone can change this in 5 minutes. I guess we can time it. If I had a connector brand new, it would be a lot easier, but I don't have one. I know we did find them, but they were like white and they look ghetto. But I guess I'll just have to order them and just deal with it. God, I'm so tired of AliExpress though. It's like everything is so hit and miss, you know? 10 minutes for espresso time. Get in your home, okay. All right, that is on. So I'm setting this preheater for about, I don't know, 350 or something like that, something crazy hot. But it doesn't actually translate to the board getting that hot, so it doesn't really matter because this is a small little heater. And so we're gonna set the heater on here. I'll take down the poles because everyone wants to see this jack taken off. You want to see the laptop run like professionally real, right? All right, so here's a board that I have that has that same port on it. That is a donor board. And so our port's right here. And in order to take this off, we actually have to heat the board substantially to try to get it up to temperature before we try taking it off, because the way that this thing is set up is the pins, let's see if I can get this high enough here. I can see it. I don't know. Can I get it high enough? I need to go higher. Where we're going, we need to go higher. Oh my gosh, this is so high. Okay. So basically, this entire jack has pins that go underneath it all the way across. So basically, this pin is all the way to here. And there's no way to heat up underneath it, so you have to actually heat the board hot enough to desolder this. Now, this is a donor board, so the only one I have actually has like a missing plastic broken on the side here. But you get what you get, and you don't get upset. Right? That's all I got. I'm going to order those other jacks, because I'm just going to have them. This is like the third or fourth one of these I've had to replace for somebody, so I guess I'm going to have some of these, even if it's white and looks all jacked. Use some low melt. It doesn't work like that. The problem is that you can low melt the back of this, but there's no low melt going underneath here, so I cannot get the low melt to go underneath. Oh, let me show you a board that already has it removed. That way you can really understand what I'm talking about. You can pick up what I'm setting down here. You can smell what I'm stepping in on this one. All right, so here's what it looks like when I take the port off. See that? So it actually goes all the way across. So even if you got solder back here or a low melt, you wouldn't be able to get it underneath the port itself. And so you need to be able to get the port off without melting it. Like, look at this beautiful port right here. So it's a process. It's just so much fun. So I have to heat this low enough. I need to heat the board good enough so then I can heat the port at not direct heat where the thing just kind of comes off. So I mean, I'm going to add some solder to the back of it, but that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to be able to get it underneath. Capiche? But while this is warming up, you guys just banter with me. Come on for a little bit. What you got? What you got? Any Shark Week fans? Oh, Shark Week already? Well, already. I know it's in the summer all the time. I used to watch it a long time ago. I haven't watched it in a long time. Collateral Damage. Sawdust City. Oil City. Oh. Yeah, so not going to be able to mix in the low melt all the way through is the problem. Clip the end of the connector. Clip the end. You can't really clip the end. Shark Week starts tonight. You know, I've always been somebody who was not scared. I wouldn't mind getting in one of those shark cages. My wife thinks I'm nuts. I'm like, put me in a shark cage. Let's do it. Let's do it. How's your mom keeping? Well, I haven't reported this to you, but she actually passed away a couple weeks ago. So I've kind of held that back. It was right after I got back in town and right for my vacation, and she got bad, started getting really sick, and then she ended up passing away that Friday. And then, yeah, it was a rough couple days, and so I had to kind of still keep a straight face on that next Sunday stream. But yeah, but she's in a better place. She was, you know, not doing that well, and so her memory was bad, and her, you know, her kind of existence was kind of bad because she was just bedbound for years, and so it wasn't. I'm happy for her now, and I was there with her too. I'm glad that I was able to come back in town in time, and I was there holding her hand when she passed, and so it you know, it's a, you know, I feel good about the final part of it, you know. Yeah, so I appreciate all that. And it's been a long road anyway, so yeah. But Shark Week is starting today, so it's gonna be good. Pivot. It's hard, you know. It's hard, yeah. And I try not to bring in too much of that personal stuff into these things, but you know, it's the way it is sometimes. Condolences. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate that. Yeah, she is in a better place for sure. Feel much better. I ordered an LCD screen for my Dell in China. Will it work? That's a good stream title. I ordered a screen from China. Will it work? I don't know. Daryl, thank you for that $2 donation. I appreciate it. And Allie, 10 cheers. 10 cents. Thank you so much for that. Sorry to hear that, Nate. No problem. Thank you. Sharknado are the worst. Condolences. Oh, yes. So it's, we have this heating up here. We can put this on this view so y'all can see it. 11 cheers. Thank you. 10, 11. It's all part of our lives. I know it is. And so now I have to kind of plan that other stuff. I totally understand. My mom has Alzheimer's. While seeing her doing fine physically, it's tough to watch her mental state. Yeah, and then after a while, it's like it gets so bad because they don't really remember to eat or drink or whatever, and so she stopped eating and drinking is what really got her. She would only eat oatmeal every day. That was the only thing she would eat, and then she'd be like, "No, I'm fine. I don't need anything," and just like you couldn't force her to eat. It was really hard. This is. Gosh, that's so hard. I'm from PA. Dallas, Texas is where my mother-in-law just passed away on Friday. I'm sorry to hear about that, Craig. Yes, and I just like to think that they are in a better place and that everything's going to be a lot better overall. I just went and cleaned out her nursing home room yesterday, and so my truck's actually filled with her stuff right now. So that was actually pretty tough. I went down there by myself and was like packing up all her pictures and things off the walls and all this stuff, and so it's like, and I still have my whole truck full of it, my Tahoe, and I'm just like, I have to process all that now. So that was another whole thing that I had to deal with yesterday. Oh, it's the way it is, you know. It reminds you of your own inevitable fatality. Yeah, that's right. Lost my sister-in-law in December. Gosh, man. Yeah, everyone's in the same boat for the most part for all this different stuff there. Mr. Hunt with a Prime Twitch sub. Thank you for that. Nobody. We have a shark. It roams the house and eats dust bunnies. What am I? It's an AI vacuum that films you all day long. Thanks for that, nobody. You're so funny. You're so funny. Tell wife it's Faraday cage. You need to come into work. Yes, that's what I tell my wife. I'm in a Faraday cage. It protects me from all those sharks. Oh my gosh. I'm a caregiver for my mother. So James, you know exactly what it was. I took care of my mom for 3 years, then I had my little sister take care of her for 3 years, and then we finally moved into a nursing home facility, and that was where she kind of went downhill. So I don't, you know how that is. Did you get your Tahoe fixed? Yes, my Tahoe is back. I actually have it back, and they just installed a software update, and they said, it's all fixed. And I'm like, yeah, if you look at it's a 2022, so if you look at the 10-speed trainings on these Chevys, there's apparently these recalls on these 10 speeds that the valve body goes out or something like that, or whatever's in there. And so there's some software fix that's supposed to make it kind of act like it's okay. And you could tell it's still messed up, but I guess it's going to work for a little while. And but I did buy, while I was didn't have a vehicle for a few days, I ended up buying a 2015 Mini Cooper S manual. So I've been kind of running around with that thing. I know Mini Coopers aren't the most reliable vehicles, but I did make sure to choose the engine that was actually the more reliable version of it. And so that's been kind of fun, just kind of driving around in that little, and getting back into four-banger with a manual and a turbo. So I feel like I'm young again. Oh, okay, so I miss driving a manual. Yeah, so that's the thing, is I would always love going out and traveling to Europe. And whenever I would rent cars there, they would always be manual transmissions. I'm still texting to see if this is hot enough. We're waiting for it to get hot enough. And but now they're not even having manuals in Europe anymore. Okay, we're up 86 degrees. I want this board to be around 100 at least. Theft proof is manual transmission. Yes, and then I can also teach my daughter how to drive manual. And my wife loves manual too, so she's also really into it. Mini Cooper, John Cooper Works edition is spicy. I just got the regular. I mean, and I didn't want one that had high maintenance either. So I mean, I did get the S anyway, but it was I ended up buying a separate warranty on it too, because I was I don't want the turbo to go out. I don't want to deal with all that. But the dealership I bought it from ended up already doing all the motor mounts and all the stuff that goes wrong with it. So there was a lot of work. Custom firmware on the Tahoe. I love the manual. Just bought a Acura 23 with a 6-speed this year. What, Craig? You can still buy Acuras with a 6-speed? That's crazy. Yeah, Faraday cage protects from electricity, For protection from sharks, you want a tackleberry. Oh, I tried to rewatch some Police Academy. Guys, that show is so bad. It's so bad. I used to love Police Academy as a kid. It is so just like, it's not on point. I thought it was going to get me, but it's just so bad. It's like really, really bad. No Racing Super is on quarter mile. And this Mini, it has like 189 horsepower with 208 foot-pounds or pound-feet of torque. And so it's pretty fast, but why not get a Pontiac? Sin with this 4 months resub. Why not get a Pontiac? You know the answer to the Pontiac. They're not even in business anymore. That'd be funny though. Get an old Pontiac. The Durango SRTs are fun. We wanted something that was small, manual, and good gas mileage. So now we have an electric car, we have a gasoline car, and I have a diesel because my Tahoe's a diesel. So we have one of each. We're good for the apocalypse. So. Or solar storm or whatever it is, whatever we need, we can survive any type of energy crisis that we have. Mini is a BMW. That's why it's going to cost $1 million to do anything with it. So that's the only problem with it being a BMW. And I've owned BMWs in the past. I actually went and test drove a Subaru, and I was going to try to get a Subaru as my manual, but it was so sluggish. And then unless you get like a WRX, which I didn't want a WRX. So, all right, let's pull this thing off. Enough banter. So I'm going to do 300 degrees or maybe 350. I'm going to go 350 on my hot air. But first I'm going to add a little bit of solder to the back of this here and try to get the juices flowing a little bit. Wheezing the juice. You love your Blazer EV. You know, I had a Blazer years ago, like a 2000 Blazer I think I had. I've had so many vehicles though. And it was okay. I didn't have tons of problems. That was like my camping vehicle that I would put my dogs in and kind of beat up on it. And then I had I think I had a BMW at that time. I think I did. I always had some sort of like sports car. And then BMWs, bring money with you. That's pretty funny. That's about right. Every time you take it to a BMW shop, it costs $1,200. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You get $1,200 bill every single time. Even urge the seller to buy a new computer to sell the drive without. Oh, I missed part of that conversation there. That's a chipped connector. Yes. So the connector, the only connector I have as a donor has the side kind of busted out on it, and I told them you get what you get and you don't get upset because I don't have any of these connectors, and so there's only certain things you can handle. And I could try ordering some of these, and we did find some on AliExpress on one of these other streams. They're white, and I don't know if that just means they're inferior or fake or whatever they are. Fake, 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 fake. But this is what I have here. This guy's local, so he just brought it in. And so I'm going to see if I can just fix it this way. So this is going to be our donor. And you know, you can only do what you can do. The 350 rocks. So I had a 2007 Tahoe with a 350, and then I had a 2011 Tahoe, same engine. That's a 5.3, right? 5.4? Which one was it? But it's the one that shut off the stupid cylinders, but it never had any issues. I always just drove those. I bought each one of those and drove them to 200,000 miles. And then I bought this diesel one. And this diesel one's been good. I'm only at 75,000 miles though. Ali stings like a bee. You know, sometimes I win on AliExpress and sometimes I lose on AliExpress. I feel like lately I've been losing. I feel like the people or the vendors that I used to buy from that I felt like was more reliable, they must be buying from less reliable or something. A little bit of glue here. I'm going to take off the corner. A little bit of glue in this corner. All right, so the goal is to get the board heated up enough, but I don't want to have direct heat on this. So we're going to try to get this where the solder starts to flow. And like I said, I'm at about 350 degrees, and you see the solder is starting to melt here. And come on. And the preheater's at 350. But we'll see if we can get this going here. I may need to up my temperature a little bit on my hot air. Sorry, it's hard to see the chat at the same time. $350. Okay, yeah. So it's a 5.3. I always forget. I know the 5.4 is the Ford, and then the 5.3 is the Chevy. That's what it is. BMW is pronounced differently. BMW. Jeez. BMW. Really? It's not BMW. W. Double. Double V. I don't know why a W is anyway double U. It should be double V. You pronounce BMW different. Wrong. That's how I that's funny. I didn't know that it was pronounced different. I'm also in Texas, so I have a little bit of a Texas drawl here. See how long this is? I hate this. You get this slow. It's like, I feel like I'm barbecuing right now. Cooking some ribs, low and slow. Trying to be careful. I can raw dog the other one right off of there. This one I have to low and slow it off of here. I might need to go up a little bit in my temperature, because I don't think I'm getting enough heat out here. What do you think? Spanish, it's WV. Is it really? BMV. BMW. Bovem Motorworks. BMW. Can't do it. More flux. What we need is more flux. You think I can say it like that? What this connector needs is more flux. I don't think I can do it. More preheater. Yeah, I'm going to crank it all the way to the top. We're going to max. We got max preheater. All the flux. Max preheater, and just trying to get this corner to pop a little bit. I'm going to go up to 400. Okay, we're at 400 now on the preheater and 400 on the hot air. Doesn't mean that the connector is getting that, because this connector is going to melt at 260, 261, somewhere around there. But at some point, this is just going to fall off of here. You'll see it just like plunk. Giant blob of low melt. You think low melt's going to help? This is all melted right here. That's the thing. See, this is already melted. It's the stuff underneath that's not melted, because it's underneath. It's underneath. You just don't want to melt the connector. So have to be very, very careful. You guys wanted this. You guys voted for this. I told you it's not fun. There we go. It's starting to move on that edge. We're getting there. It's coming. It's coming, baby. Here it comes. Here it goes. Here it goes. Y'all ready for this? Coming. Can we get this side? Okay, here we go. Woo! Hoo-wee! That was not fun. That was not fun. Oh, it's hot. It's hot in here. God. Anyway, so that one is a lot. That's the hardest part. Taking off a good one off of a good board, or good, quote unquote. Taking the other one off, we're gonna raw dog that thing right off there. We can just max heat it. Just so that was 19 minutes. I told you. That means I can install this in 5 minutes, though. Let's see if we get the new one on in 5 minutes. 5 more minutes. Okay. So, let me take out his memory. Oh, it's getting hot in here. It's getting hot. I'm still watching. It's crazy. I mean, the air conditioner's on, but this is like having a heater at 400 right in your face. Right in your face. Let's see if I got everything good here. Something like that. Okay. He's a great mechanic. A propane torch will do it. Yeah, I mean, we're going to be able to get this thing off in like that. You ready? We're going to make it so. We're going to make it rain. Make it rain, this connector. God, this connector is ugly. You guys want some of this for your archive? God, that is so fugly. So replacing this will definitely help on the new DC jack. So we're going to add a little bit of solder on here, sorta, while the board's heating up. We don't need to heat it too much, too quick, because we're just going to be able to get this thing off really fast. It's crispy. It's toasty. Now the thing is, when we install the other one, we need the board hot enough to be able to melt it to sit down underneath there also. So the board has to be heated to capacity. Well, it needs a lot of cleaning, doesn't it? There's your sign. There's your problem. So we'll do what we can here to reflow the pre-flow these. Flood it. A little flood. Oh yeah, I want to talk to you guys about that. So if you guys are interested, I did talk to Raph over there at Black Horse Repairs, who makes this flux that smells really, really good. So he started making those candles, and here, I'll pull this up in a second. But I did talk to him about making smell-o-vision. So he is on board making a smell-o-vision candle set to go along with these repairs. So if you're not privy to it, right now, when I heat this up, it's going to start smelling like a burning plastic. And so he's going to make a set of candles that goes along with the smells. And so right now you can buy a candle that smells like this Omega 559, which is really good. It smells like pine trees and stuff. And then he's going to make a candle that smells like, or we're talking about it, that smells like burning electronics. So you can light the burning electronics candle while I'm removing this. Toxic candles, go. It's smell-o-vision. So then we're going to have one that smells like cat pee. And I don't know. I don't know exactly what all the flavors will be, but whatever the common flavors are, that's what we're going to have. That's what we're going to have. I need to protect these other connectors here, though, actually. Ah, yes. Burnt electronics, my favorite. So, here, let me protect. I have just a piece of metal I'm going to put over this connector here. Shoot. There we go. And another connector. Another cover. Where's my other cover? There it is. And we'll put this one over this one. Bazinga. Okay. A bug scent. Futurama. Yeah, mouse urine. See, that's what we're going to do. We need to figure out all the different flavors. Now, I don't know if you guys would buy a smell-o-vision candle set that goes along with Nathan's stream, but I don't know. He has candles in stock right now, and I can post it in the, or somebody can post it in the chat. But you can go buy one of these Omega 559 candles right now. He has them in stock. And you can smell what this flux smells like, which it smells really good. Even if you don't want to own the flux, because you don't solder anyway, but if you just want to smell it. And then you can light it while we're watching the stream and, get in the mood. It's a mood candle. It's a mood candle, A cat pee candle. That'd be crazy, though. I mean, having a cat pee candle. Smell-o-vision, now with 50% extra gooch. Oh yeah, I can send him some gooch he can mix inside the candle wax. That would work. And then it's like, it has layers. Or have it where it's a gift candle. So whenever you burn it down a certain length, then you start getting different bad chips in it. Maybe I should do that, because I have so many bad chips. So It's like a prize candle. One of those ones where you burn it down and then you have like a prize in it. We're full of great ideas. These are all the best ideas. A true 4D. Real-time smell-o-vision. All right, the fact that we're putting on leaded solder on here is going to make it a lot easier to install the new one. Burning dog and cat. Oh, cat hair and hair. That's a good one. I mean, the main smells I have is burning electronics or burning circuit board and the flux candle. Oh, and cigarettes. This one's a cigarette smelling one. Take the money. Yeah, it's a take the money thing. He's only doing it just for fun, and his actual description is so funny. I'll have to read it to you. Okay, while this is hot, let's get this installed. So here's our brand new one right here. Brand new, never been used before. It only has a broken edge on it. That's it. So we're going to line that up like so. Look at all that solder on there. Very happy. And the problem is trying to get this thing lined up to sit right. Should I take all that solder off of there? Would that be easier? I have no idea. This is so hot. It's so spicy. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so now we're going to be careful. Fresh from Soren's box. My video yesterday, I had a chip from Soren's box. Stupid Soren's box, man. It's always an issue. You never know. You never know what you're going to get. Okay, hold on. Let me preheat this back up here. This is hard work here. The wind wants to blow it. The wind of change. And it's so hot, my hand doesn't want to stay in a position for very long. I might need to put a glove on or something. I need to move it over just a little bit. Gosh, it's like the reason why I keep moving it wrong is because it's burning my hand. Let me put a glove on. Where are my gloves at? This will help at least. This is so uncomfortable. Ah, got a glove. Yeah, one glove on. Let's go. Now this isn't a heat-resistant glove, so it still hurts. So that's not good. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Wow, this is almost hotter than before. Why is that? All right, so now I need to make sure it sits on flat. I have it lined up properly. You guys are funny. I'm reading your chats at the same time, and it's distracting me. Don't make me laugh. Get down flat. Darn it, I had it good, and then it slid just a little bit. I feel like it was good. Now the line's not lined up right. I just want it a little bit straighter. Something like that. Okay, that was so much fun. Did you guys have all the fun there? Was that all the fun? Was that all the fun that you've ever funned out in your whole life? And then you're like, but there's still some bridges there. check for shorts. I like how he says it in caps. Check for shorts. You didn't check for shorts, man. Of course, I'm going to reflow this. I'm just... I'm sorry, that was the funniest thing I ever saw. Of course there's shorts. There's like big blobs of solder on here still. I've lost it, man. I've lost it. You're losing your mind. More bridges than the Star Trek Enterprise. Oh, I can't even, like, I can't think straight. That's so stupid. There's more bridges than the Star Trek Enterprise. Dude, I have to focus, guys. Oh, he's saying he should check for shorts before you put the connector on. That's not how that works. Anyway, there was no shorts before that. But I gotcha. Okay, now I'm getting it. Now I'm saying I get what you're saying. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Oh, okay. It still cracks me up regardless. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yeah, we can check for shorts. I don't think there was any shorts anyway before, but we will check right now. The connector is a straight connector, so there's not going to be any shorts caused by the connector. And here's shorting to ground. That's ground. Wait, which one's ground? Okay, so this is ground all the way across here. And this is positive all the way across here. And then this is our PSID pins right there. Oh gosh. Okay, that was good. Bash, thanks for following. What's going on here? Oh, they're all together. That was 31 minutes. Okay. Let me take this off this heater. I'm just letting it still get hotter and hotter. I'm going to have to clean this too. How am I going to get this thing off of here? Was that fun? Voltmeter window. Oh, right. Yeah. Thank you. I need to add that command for you guys so you can put it back up. Okay. Let me take this down. It's hot. It's going to be hot. This thing's hot too. I'm going to move it and put it right here. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Got it. Nailed it. All right, so that connector's on there. It just looks like a kind of a horror show because it's really dirty, and we're going to clean that up right now as we speak. Okay, what else does anyone want? I'll put the voltmeter window back up there. Good. What else we need? What else we need? I need some gloves. These gloves right here were just like some work gloves I got, and these are almost worse. It's almost like they pick up the heat, so that's not good. I just brought those from home, so I need to find something else. Please clean the surface. Okay. What else? Hydrate. Hydrate, spicy meatball, go. Here, I'll drink some water this time. 1 large pizza, please. I need mittens. Well, I have some heat-proof gloves, but they're too big. They're not, I can't really, like, my dexterity is gone. Pitmaster barbecue pit. See, like, let me show you these. Let me show you this. This is, look at this thing. I feel like I have Mickey Mouse hands. Like, hello. I can't, this is like, yeah, there's no dexterity in this, so I can't really use that thing. It's like a welding glove or something. HEB has them. I need the cayenne pepper. Quick, cayenne pepper. So are the barbecue Pitmaster gloves, are they tinier? Are they skinnier? Are they built for comfort or built for speed? Oh, God. That's crazy. I like this show. Thank you. I don't. Grumby gloves. Sounds fancy. Link in my bio. HEB. HEB is our local grocery store. Let's pull these up. Boy, that's what I'm talking about. $10. So I don't care about this rubber stuff, but this is what I'm talking about. Yeah. Nitrile. No, we don't want nitrile. So we want reusable glove pair. Is it high? Let's see. Glove layer. That's a layer for hot items. Hot. Ultimate heat protection. That does sound good, and I like the price. $10. 10 bones. Thank you for that, Senan. I will stop at HEB. Maybe not on the way home, because I have to do some stuff, but that's a good idea. Are you sure it's only water in that bottle? I don't know, this cayenne pepper, it's starting to kick in. It's starting to get down to the bone. Get down in the, get in the bloodstream. Oh gosh, yeah. Howard E. Butts. I thought it was Herbert. It's Howard? Howard E. Butts, H-E-B. That's our grocery store that's in Texas. The largest employer in Texas, I believe. Nitro gloves from Melt. I will not put the nitro gloves on. I don't really understand why they do that. Like, it's a pair. That'd be crazy if someone thought that that was the heat resistant part of it. ESD is overrated. Yeah, I don't know. ESD what? I don't think I've ever used any ESD. Although I'm on a concrete floor. This is all grounded. This metal table's grounded. So take what you want on that. God, this is such a dirty. It's so dirty. All right, you guys, should we just plug this straight in and see if it works? Should I assemble the machine or should I actually pre-test it? You want a pre-test or do you want a full test? Get a new jack. Again with the caps. You gotta watch out for yelling, man. You're yelling at me. It's in my face. You got my attention though. All right, so here's the jack. Here's this old jack, right? So should we plug this one in? This, that's what he wants, huh? That's what we should do. Let's just put a new end on here. We'll just put a new end on this and we'll be good to go, right? No! Valcor! Atreyu! All right, or we just grab one of these. I missed it. Who is that? Tazzy with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you for that, Tazzy. The old Tazarazmaz. Looks like what? STL, Jan, Splitfire, Mup, and Bog. All got some gifted subs. Thank you for that. Yeah, so this DC jack completely melted, damaged that port. We just replaced that port. But here's a new DC jack that we sell. So there you go. There's the part number for this one. And we're going to get rid of that one. So I may end up, I could probably turn this one into a one of my power meters because I just cut the end of this off and then it has that. That's what I usually do. God, this is so dirty still. You dirty, dirty board, you. Sometimes it's hard to clean the board off properly. Makes me mad. There's a jack. Where's a Jill? No connector, no burnt. That's one way of looking at it. I got a free gifted membership. Yep. I got it. Yeah, you got to say it like that. I got a free gifted membership. Is this live? Yeah, it's live. It's live. I can hear you. I can see you. All right, so I'm going to plug this in. What? Wolfie just sent... Oh, this is a competition. Wolfie just sent 5 more gifted subs. Thank you for that, Wolfie. So it looks like Lord, Swamp, Astra, Metal, and Walter. Walter! Everyone got the gifted sub. Thank you for that. Gifted membership. So next 30 days, you guys have a membership. Thank you for that. Definitely helps me out a lot. Acetone for the flux remover. This is 99% alcohol. Nothing but the best. And I have a little bit inside my cayenne pepper and lemonade right now. All right. Did we figure out if we wanted to turn this on right now? Or do you want me to assemble first? Because I can turn it on right now if you want. We can do it under the thermal camera. Do you want to see it? Do you want to see it? Or is it the suspense killing you? Where's the infamous Dr. Sonic? We were talking about this earlier. Dr. Sonic gifted 400 gifted subs, and they were all, it was fraud. So we know, like Dr. Sonic, we like Wolfie and Tazzy. Those are the people we like the most. Okay, connector fully seated. Oh, that's a good point. Let's see. Smoke, smoke. It's deep. It's deep, and it's all the way, has full penetration. It's all the way in. It's good. All right, so we're all the way in, fully seated. And y'all want to see picture instead? See, that's the question. And I don't know why I ask these questions, because I'm like, everyone's going to be like, yes, no, yes, no. So if I plug it in right now, I just want to see if we get a CPU warming up or not. and if we start getting the smoke, the magic smoke show. All right, split screen. Okay, split screen. I like what you're thinking. Okay, so we can do it on the CPU split screen. All right, you're ready. Will it charge? Will it charge? I don't know if it will charge though. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. It should jump up to 60 watts. CPU is on, and we got 45 watts, but CPU is at 65, 70, and that's as far as I'm going to go with that. So it is powering on. So now let's go ahead and just assemble it. Let's see if we can get this thing to power on. And then we got to figure out why it did what it did. Why it did what it did. Why did it fail? Well, it's like the DC jack wasn't seated in all the way. And the only thing that would make sense is if the DC jack wasn't seated in all the way. And guess who worked on the laptop last time? We were the last people to work on this thing. So unless he opened it up and unplugged the DC jack, it means that we didn't plug it in all the way. I mean, it'd been like a long time, like a year or something, a year and a half ago. But so this could be our fault. And if it was our fault, then I'm not charging him a dime for this. So I don't know. That's the only explanation. If we're trying to put the math together, we try to crunch some numbers and try to figure out a cause. The only thing that makes sense is the DC jack not being plugged in all the way. And that would be, right? What do you think? I don't know. I wasn't the one who worked on it, because this was just a repaste and a fan replacement before. And the fan was out. So. But if it's been a year and a half, so who knows if somebody else has been in here too, if he had it somewhere else. He actually is from San Antonio. He doesn't even live in Austin. He drives in. So I'll have to ask him if he took it anywhere else. If it was only us. Oh, no, that's right. And the power button was bad. That's right. And this is the weird thing. So the power button, he brought it in because the power button was bad. And then we saw the DC jack was messed up like that. But it wasn't an issue. But basically, the power button was shorting out. So it was actually like red hot, and the power button didn't work. And so there was a short on the power button itself, and it was actually melted. And then the DC jack was melted. So I don't know. It's a combination of things, I guess. What's going on with this battery? I don't know. Whatever it takes, I'll do the right thing. If it is something that if it was negligence on our part, we'll take care of it. That's all I have to say. Power surge. Yeah, it could have been power surge, I guess, too. He's using an OEM charger, so it's not going to be the charger. But if math says that it's just because it wasn't plugged in all the way, then that would do it. If it's something else going on, like maybe the CPU or GPU is pulling too much current, then that's something else. Sounds like liquid damage. I mean, it does smell like an ashtray, too. There's a lot of cigarette smoke around it. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Partial insertion. Normal vibration to loosen it up. It could be that too, where it kind of backed out, because an OEM can't be bad. That's what we think if it's OEM. Yeah, if it's OEM, it could be bad even, so what you're saying. EC chip. Still think it's an EC chip too. So we could have something going on with it pulling too much current. The battery could be failing too and then pulling too much current. And these power management chips are notorious for going out and causing shorts too. So I haven't even plugged the battery in yet to charge the battery. So we could have a short on that, which I could have checked. Before I plug the battery in, I'm going to make sure we don't have 19 volts on here, on the battery connector. If you don't mind, because it could be the comeback MOSFET that's shorted out. I'm going to put a couple screws in here just to make sure it doesn't flop out everywhere. Wait, on my screen it looks like the whole laptop is yellow. What? That's strange. That's strange. Is it a fake battery? It's not a fake battery, but it has a sticker across here, and I don't understand. Because this is not a sticker that would go to anything else. That would be like on the motherboard or something like that, so it's kind of strange to have that sticker there. Cigarette smoke possibility. I mean, I really don't know how nicotine and buildup of smoke products do it. I guess it's this gray color. Is that what you're talking about? There may be a little bit of yellow tinge. I have an orange light above me that I keep on. So like if I put a white light on, this is what I look like. It doesn't look as good, so I always do like a kind of a amber light. Okay, I'm not going to plug in the battery yet. What I want to do first is I'm going to plug in the charger, and I want to measure the voltage on the DC jack, or on the battery charge port, to make sure we don't have 19 volts going to the battery, because that would also cause the DC jack to melt, because that'd be a totally different issue. We didn't check that before. So I'm going to get prepared to measure this. If I can find a ground point. So here's our battery connector. And I'm just going to measure real quick, see what the voltage is. So battery's at 10.8. I'm going to unplug this. I'm going to measure right here. Get that lined up. There we go. And now I'm going to plug in the charger. And I want to make sure we don't get a spike of 19 volts or anything there. So laptop's coming on, and we only get 1 volt there. So that's fine. So that looks fine. I'm going to go ahead and plug in the battery now. And then now we're going to turn it on again. And this time the laptop did not come on. So I'm going to unplug it. Did you notice that when I plugged it back in just now, it did not power on? So now I'm going to plug it back in. And now it's powering on. So we're going to leave his battery out of the loop for a second, because with that battery plugged in, it did not try to power on just then. And because this is a CMOS reset, the laptop powers on automatically when I plug it in. My battery obviously worked on it. The battery could be faulty, and that could be the whole cause of this whole thing. Because when we were testing, we were using my test battery the whole time. So we're going to use my test battery next to make sure everything's good. So let's make sure we get a full picture. Save another laptop? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So right now it is booting up. We are at 54 watts. This will take a little while. Then it will jump to 120 watts-ish, and then it will give us a picture. And while we're doing that, a little more of this crazy juice. Crazy juice. Ooh, this stuff is hardcore. Did I measure the battery on its own? Yes, hold up. That cayenne is hardcore. I plugged the battery into the motherboard. It's 10.8 volts by itself. Oh, I need something for my nose. Cayenne pepper. And the charger measures only 1 volt on the output. So it's usually will switch into a charge state or at like 12.6 volts or something like that on that connector. So I don't really understand what's going on, but let me get through this. This is Doc Wake Up Juice. What is that from? Back to the Future. All right, that's right, Doc's Wake Up Juice. It was like a mix, and it woke up Marty in the Old West. Already first bourbon of the day. All right, it turned back off. That's what we want. So now it should come back on. You just watch it, follow it there. Show some support by liking the stream. Thank you, Real. Thank you, Real. The owner's battery is original, is from what I can tell. But it definitely could be bad if that's what's going on. But we're going to do stages. So we're going to get this thing turning on. Then I'm going to plug my test battery in, make sure it detects the battery, make sure it charges the battery properly. Then we'll go and plug it in. Is that finally a new chair? Yes, I bought the chair. It's been probably a month or two by now. I got it from the Relax-A-Back store. Pretty good. It's not 100% good. I still ended up having to add a little bit of a back support here, but my whole goal with this is to sit up straight, and so that's been working pretty good. You have an M15R6. Sean with an M15R6. Have some fun with that one. That one's actually more reliable than some of the other ones, so it's not a bad machine. Hey folks, how's everyone doing? Like the stream. Okay, so we still haven't got our picture here. Is that sticker on the battery from the motherboard? That's what I was thinking, right? So, but that sticker the going across the battery, usually people will peel it off of a, I'll show you in a second, but they'll peel it off a motherboard while they're working on it to stick it there. But this motherboard doesn't have one of those stickers. So that's why I don't know where that came from. So that's normally why it doesn't make sense to me. Just switched over from Twitch. All right, well, welcome. But my M1504 won't, M15R6 won't turn on. Oh, okay, so there's an issue. And I saw the screen flash for a second and it turned back off. Okay, so we got screen for a second. M15R6, I mean, send it in. I can fix it if you need it. I've definitely worked on tons of those. Hey, we have a picture. I can't believe I saved another laptop. So it is turning on, and we kind of knew it was going to turn on, I think. I was pretty confident it was going to turn on. And so let me turn it off. I'm not going to unplug the charger because I don't want to reset the battery or reset the CMOS. But I have my test battery that we know works that we can plug into it. Yeah, 8 amps, that ain't nothing. This thing goes up to 16 amps, bro. 8 amps ain't nothing. 16 is where we're going now. Okay. Bzz. So I'm just plugging this in, no hands. I just want to see what this does. So 0.1 right off the bat, then we got, which is kind of a weird pre-charge current. And now we have 50 watt charging. So we're charging at 50 watts. If we put this at express charge, it will charge at 100 watts. Don't do that, guys. Don't do it. It's not good. I don't like it at all. But this is kind of regular charge. Open the lid, it's turning on by itself. 1.21 gigawatts. So we're going to boot this up into diags. 16 amps, damn. Yeah, 16.5. And they even have the newer ones now are 360 watts, so I think that's 18 amps, somewhere around there. Whatever it takes. I don't think it's a fake battery issue. I think it's a bad battery issue, but we will see. That must be what it is. This is a new DC jack, and then the port was replaced. That's on the board. The receptacle, the Molex connector was replaced because it was completely melted. And let's see if we can get to a good screen. Okay, slide this over. Can you see it? Now you see it, now you don't. All right, so we have 20% charge on my battery. It's in excellent health. We see 3.3 amps, 4 amps going into the battery right now. There's my charger detected, all that stuff. I'm going to unplug it, see if it runs off the battery, which it should. And I guarantee it's going to, look, it's pulling 9 amps out of this battery. You see that? 9 amps is coming out of the battery. 8.4. That's nuts, right? I feel sorry for the battery. I gotta plug this back in somehow. Can't find the hole. Get back in your hole. Okay, so switching back, it should automatically renegotiate and it should switch back to charging state, and then pre-charge current, and then 3.4 amps. Hello from Serbia. Just one for today? We have time, right? How much time do we got? We got 1 hour. So I'm gonna switch to the next one as fast as we can and see what we can come up with. Because I'm gonna be dodging out a little early today, guys, just to warn you. I got stuff to do, but we have it charging. So now let's plug in his battery. I'm going to turn the machine off. I'm not unplugging the charger. I'm going to leave it on there. It's spiked to 10 because it's charging at the same time. All right, get ready for this. Bzz. So I'm unplugging my test battery. We're going to plug in his questionable battery. See, this sticker's weird. Why is the sticker on here? There's like a sticker across it. Because this isn't part of this motherboard anywhere. I don't recognize this piece. Where's my other motherboards here? Like sometimes a technician will take this sticker off, but none of my boards have that. So if you're trying to figure out, I don't want to set this thing down on here, but yeah, this doesn't fit on here anywhere. So this doesn't go on this board. So where did this piece come from? Right? Maybe it came under the palm rest. Maybe Harris, when he changed out the power button, he took this thing off. So we'll have to kind of figure that out. So I'm just going to set that to the side and not just assume it's trash. All right, so we're going to plug in his battery. I still have the charger plugged in. So keep an eye up there on the power meter. You ready for this blast off? 3, 2, 1. It's not doing anything. Okay, now it's charging. Okay, it's charging. If it fits, it sits. So I think the battery's legit. I could scan the serial number. Let's take a look at the serial number. So the serial number is this. And let's see. So this is the revision number. Let's see if I can zoom this in for you. So this is the revision. And then this is the manufacturer. This is the part number. So that's the part number. And then this is the date code. So it says it was manufactured in 2023, the first month and the third day. So March 3rd of January, or January 3rd of 2023. That's what that says. So serial number looks okay. Did I teach you guys something just now? How to read that number? The battery was imported. So that's about the right time period. And we are charging at 33 watts. So let's not spark anything when I'm flipping this over. DC jack's not screwed in. We learned something on Wednesday, didn't we? We flipped over something and the DC jack arced on something. We don't have to fix the board twice. Okay. So what would make the power button not work though? Because the power button was also burning hot. So 20 charge cycles. This thing says it has 20 charge cycles. And this is also what we want to look at because the BMS is reporting that the manufacture date was August or October 12th, 2023. And the date code was saying January 3rd of 2023. So the right year, I don't know. So does that mean anything? We only have 20 charge cycles though. And it has 62% charged. You guys ready for this? You all ready? I'm going to unplug it and see if we can pull 9 amps out of this battery. 9 amps, anybody? Unplugged. 8.1 amps. It's staying on. Something sketchy. Almost a year wrong. Plugged it back in. God, those fans are so smoky. Y'all need to light your burning cigarette candle or your ashtray candle. All right, this I don't know, it's working. I'd probably recommend a battery replacement anyway. It's in good condition regardless, which means it has some cycles on it, even though it only shows 20 charge cycles. He probably never uses the battery anyway. I don't really understand why the DC jack blew out at this point, but we do have the system actually working, so I will say, oh, you're right. Thank you guys, you corrected me. So A is actually 10, the 10th month. That's right. And C is actually after, so there's 1 through 9. So I've been corrected. My brain was short-circuiting on that. So the alphabet doesn't start until after the numbers. So we have numbers first, then we have alphabet. So A is technically the 10th letter, or the 10th thing, so that would be the 10th month. And then C is technically the 12th, which would be the 12th. So that actually matches. Thank you. Thank you. I was testing you. That's what it was. I was just testing you. All right, so the system's working now. What do you guys, you want to call that good? This one was kind of interesting. So when it came in, the laptop wouldn't power on because of the power button. My technician looked at it, and the power button was actually shorting out. It was like burning hot, so he replaced the power button, and then he noticed the DC jack was completely melted. And replacing the DC jack took a little bit of time, but it was completely melted off. We replaced it with another one, put a new DC jack in. Now the machine's powering off of that. We powered off the battery. It is charging. I probably recommend replacing this. I don't know what the exact cause was. Maybe it just wasn't plugged in all the way. And if it was something from our past repair, because we worked on this thing, he brought it to us at one point. If it was because we didn't plug it in all the way, then I'll just, I'm not going to charge them anything for this repair. That's just the way it is. Cost of doing business and doing things right. And anyway, but I love to know your thoughts on this one. Thanks for watching. Okay, so that one's done. I'm just going to set this off to the side. And I want to get on another one because we don't have much time. I'm running short today on my repairs. I'm going to have to leave, and I want to be able to get to another one. If you guys agree. Caprice. Caprice. Let me clean up my area. Excellent fix. Not bad. So did you guys... okay. Was it worth it voting for that? Was it worth watching that whole repair? For the banter. That's what it was for. That's what you voted for. You voted for the banter. You didn't vote for the actual repair. Right? Customer service. Excellent customer experience. Pots people under warranty. I mean, it's been like a year and a half. The guy's had the laptop for a year and a half. So it's kind of, it's a weird one to have to warranty, but you know, what I like to do is I like to think about things like this. Whose fault is it, right? And so if it was like, who should be penalized for what happened? So if he had nothing to do with it, then he should not be penalized. That's just the way that works. I don't know. I know, poor businessman. I get it. I've heard it all before. Work smart, not hard. Wait, who says that? Who said that? GPU not detected. It's going to be the next one. That's a tricky one. Not your fault. I know. We'll see. I mean, maybe I just won't charge him very much or something like that. We'll see. We'll have a conversation with him. Year and a half old. It's a new repair. Yeah, I mean, it could have been unplugged at some point, somebody changing out something too. It could have been taken to another shop. He's from San Antonio. He's in a different city is kind of what my point is. He has to drive into town. All right, so this is an M15R7. Is that what it is? My Nemesis. Is this the AMD version? I think this might be the Intel. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the Intel version. This one's made in Intel and AMD versions. I like to name them both, cross-name them. Let me make sure this looks fine. Okay, so let's read the notes and we'll do an intro on it. All right. I just heard the boot up sound, so I guess opening the lid booted it up. All right, so you've repaired this. Oh, so I've repaired a board for him in the past, like another one. So this is like for a different repair, okay? But after I installed the board, everything worked great. Oh wait, this is a different machine. I grabbed the wrong one. Hold on. Let me go grab it. This is a different 15R7. Hold on. This is one I actually fixed for him a while back. He sent me the board separately. So this is not what we voted for, by the way. He sent me this board separately to fix it. I fixed the board, sent it back, and then his Tron lights don't work. So that's a different story. Hold on, let me shut this one down. Let me go grab the right laptop, unless y'all wanted to work on this one. New day, new laptop to repair. That was a lot of words. Words are hard, people. They're hard. Let's see if I can find it. Maybe it's not an M15R7. What is it? I remember looking at this. I just grabbed it off the shelf for a second this morning. Let's see if I can find it. There's too many laptops here. Too many laptops. All right, it was I swear, oh, it was an M15R7. It's just a different one. GPU not detected. Okay, so let's go find that repair number 27256. 27256. 27256. Where's it at? Where you at, buddy? I don't see it. I don't see it. Hold on. There's laptops stacked everywhere. They should be in order though. Oh, here it is. We just didn't have room on the shelf. That's why. Okay, here we go. Found it. Okay, this is a... We good? You guys still there? That took forever. Okay, yeah, so there the next one in the queue was actually an M15R7 also, and then this one was one that I saw in the queue that was coming up next. Because there's multiple in the queue, but I just want to see. And so nobody's even looked at this one at all. So no one's even vetted this. And his note only says that. All right, so not even another tech has looked at this yet, so we get to see it. We get to go in cold. We could boot this thing up and it could have a GPU showing up, or it could be something simple. All right, but we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun with this one. And this is the Intel edition, I guess. All right. It's the same PC. Yeah, I get tons of these. All right, new day and another laptop that needs to be saved. And this time we have an Alienware M15R7. Now this is the Intel edition. This one was sent in because the GPU is no longer detected. It does have integrated graphics, but the NVIDIA graphics card apparently is not showing up. I haven't taken a look at this yet. Let's take a look together and see if we can get this figured out. I just heard it boot up. And I can see the Alienware signal there. And we do have picture. I can't believe. What is it? The guy gets it. He gets it. How to write a note to you. That's right. Just a couple kind words that just explain straight to the point. Not a lot of words. I don't need a big book that explains all this different stuff. Or what I don't like the most, this is what I've been getting a lot lately, is the ChatGPT description of the problem. Because people are like spitballing with ChatGPT, and then they send it in and they're like, here's what ChatGPT said. And it was like 5 pages of, it's like a whole novel. All right, so I don't know if we have a login, and I don't want to use his login. So there's no password on his screen. I don't want to like expose his information. So I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to switch to my Alienware install. We can actually retheme that to Betty White too if we wanted to. We can save another laptop. Coffee and pee time. Man, you're making me need a pee. And I have a little bit of coffee left. I'm down to a couple drops of cold coffee. I don't want to turn up the brightness. That was a customer's install, so let me just take his drive out of here. But the laptop obviously does turn on. We can go to the BIOS, actually. Let's go to the BIOS and just look to see if it's detected in here. Oh, the screen is dirty. Should I clean it first? AI slop. Dylan, my Dell Pro 16 Plus isn't turning on, but it gets hot. Dell Assist wants me to unplug the battery. Which is probably a good idea, and pull it. It has a black pull tab. Do I pull it? Oh, on the 16 Pros, how does that one work? I haven't opened up tons of those, so that's where I think I've only opened up one maybe. That one may have the switch on the battery connector itself. Sometimes they have that, but yes, it should be a pull-up. Scott just sent 20 gifted memberships. Scott coming in hot, trying to pull a Dr. Sonic. Thank you for that. I can't even name all those people. That's too many people. That's too many people. Dylan, you know, their service manual is going to show you how to turn on or unplug the battery for sure. I believe all of the batteries, they just either pull up like that or they slide out. But some of the newer ones actually have a switch or a switch on the board. So. Dr. Scott is in the house giving 20 gifted subs. Thank you for that. Let's see if we have a GPU detected. So our GPU is not detected here. A number of different things that can cause a GPU not to be detected. Most likely it's going to be some sort of power rail issue, or we could even have some sort of BIOS issue. We've seen that in the past. And what we have to kind of figure out is like, if we're going to run like a Matson mods or something like that, you can't even test it if the GPU is not there. So that's kind of out of the way or out of the question for like testing it. We need the card to be detected before we can actually do that. So we're going to have to go through the process of booting up to Windows isn't going to help anything. We're probably have to pull the board. We need to make sure we have voltages on the GPU, on the VRAM, and then I'll probably flash the BIOS as a kicker just to test to make sure that that's good. We also want to figure out if there's anything else that's not working, or if we have any errors in here. Let me see if the error logs say anything. date and time. So they did update the firmware at some point, it looks like. Phone just did our Twitch sub. Thank you for that. For 3 months. Check for BitLocker before you flash. Good point. Ugh, I hate BitLocker. Hate it. Well, what I'm going to do, generally how I do this anyway, I'm not going to flash the BIOS. You have to do one of those like fresh flashes, so I actually flash directly to the chip in order to fix that GPU issue if it has that issue. So what I would do is back up their BIOS contents anyway, and then flash a fresh one on there, and then see if it fixes it. If it does, then that's the one they're going to go by, and then we'll have to, fix the other stuff later, or have them log back in. We can always put that one back on, and then they'll continue on like, no big deal. We can also, if I had his password, I could back up his BitLocker key, or I can just use the yellow key exploit and rip that BitLocker key right off of there. But we're not going to do that. So look at this screen. I want to clean this thing first, though. I want to clean it. If I was somebody sending in a laptop for repair, I would clean it first. What do you think? Just a little cleaning. Make it look nice and new. So it's a reverse sear. That's what we're doing here. We're cleaning it first before we make it work. Reverse sear. I guess a forward sear. Forward sear, sorry. There we go. Got that. So that's nice and clean now. It should be standard. The standard operation is clean at the starting and at the end. It's a bookend of cleaning. My 15R6 has water damage, and I'm too broke to send it. Okay, so so we didn't get that full information. You're saying it doesn't turn on the end period, and now it doesn't turn on because we have a lot liquid damage. Okay, so if you have liquid damage, open the thing up, pull the motherboard out. I've worked on plenty of those, so you can watch me take one of those apart. You need to set the board on the table, take off and everything slowly. Keep your screws sorted, and then to start putting stuff out. And then I want you to take a toothbrush and isopropyl alcohol, and I want you to clean all the corrosion and put it back together. See if it works. Just make sure you get all the corrosion. I want you to go everywhere throughout the entire board. But if you can, take pictures, because you need to take pictures of where the corrosion was, because if it's gone because you cleaned it, then you don't know that there was a burn there at some point. And yeah, and this is 10-to-1 distilled water and IPA. That's what I just used to clean with, yes. So what we're going to do, I have to pull this board out, right? Is that what we're doing next? I can't remember what our plan was. Was our plan to pull the motherboard? To check voltages. Check voltages, that's what we're doing. Oh, disconnect the battery. Okay. Screen cleaner. I've never used screen cleaner. Is it any good? Isn't it like a Windex or something? I don't know if I like ammonia on my screens. Leave it out to dry for 2 days. Well, if it's not, that doesn't work, because the corrosion will grow. It starts growing like a fungus over a period of time. Any smells? Yeah, that's a good point. We might see a big blown chip or something like that. That might be easier. You were replacing the M.2. Okay, so we can put it in my own install. I was going to do that because I wanted to see the graphics card not showing up, but we just saw that in the BIOS, so I don't know if I even need to do that. 2 hours, not 2 days. 2 hours, not 2 days. All right, and the thing is open. All right, so let's take a quick look around. So we have the main battery. It is an OEM. DDR5 modules installed here, and the SSD is on the side. That's the blank one, and then the Wi-Fi card. Now, this machine, all the electronics stay on the other side. We have the heatsink with the NVIDIA graphics card, and this is the Intel edition, so it will have an Intel CPU. And I'm trying to think if this one, I feel like this was the model where we had the GPU not detected, but we also had TPM errors, and we had the SSD not working. I'm trying to remember. But then we just flashed the BIOS and it fixed all that. So I'll unplug the battery first, and we're just going to hold down the power, see if it does anything different. I doubt it will. This is usually going to be some sort of power issue. What is DGPU? So a GPU is the graphics processing unit, and D stands for discrete. So on all these laptops, you're going to have an I GPU and a D GPU. I stands for integrated. It's integrated into the CPU itself. So Your Intel CPU on this one is like a 12th gen or something like that, 12th generation i7 or something like that. That will have integrated graphics, like an Iris graphics. And then that's what we just saw a picture with. And then there's the discrete graphics, which is a high performance gaming card that it kind of switches to on the fly to play video games and stuff like that. Well, that other one's not showing up. So therefore, you should be showing up with 2 cards in here. We only got 1. So think about a desktop just having separate slotted cards. Well, one of those cards aren't showing up. So discrete. That's all that D stands for. I know sometimes whenever I put the word D in front of a GPU, I don't want it to be too confusing to people, but is it changeable? Nothing's changeable. This whole board is all integrated together as one, and they are expensive, $700 to $1,000 probably, because they're just hard to come by. VD just used their Prime sub for 6 months. You're nuts, man. That's diabolical. So I can't really measure anything over here. Oh, we're going to turn this thing back on. This audio seems a little bit laggy. Are we out of sync again? No, we're in sync. We're in sync. You just see? And if that's out of sync, then you just hit refresh on your stream. 91% alcohol is what you want. You can go to, so I get this from, this is a 91%. You can go buy at Walmart, has this, and in Walgreens will have this too, and CVS, things like that. So this is what I use for some stuff, and then I have my 99.9.9.9s that I use for everything else. Get your own mix. So I'm just turning this back on, checking one more time to make sure that we have our GPU. We could also boot in the Zorin. God, yeah, we could boot in something like that, but if it's not showing up in the BIOS, it's not going to show up anywhere else. So I'm not going to do all that. I'm just going to check the BIOS one more time, is all I was going to do. Power meter. We have the power. No, I was joking. Chemicals? Don't get alcohol, I'm broke. Come on. Ordered 64 gigs of DDR5 today, 5,600. It was $1,000. Wolfie, you're nuts. Are you freaking kidding me? $1,000. I don't even know what to say about that. $1,000. What was it? Look that up. I want to know what that was 2 years ago. How much was that? 160 bucks? $200? I mean, I don't even, that's just, oh, that's crazy. Wolfie has the power. You're still on DDR3 on your desktop. Yeah, $300, approximately $200. That's what I'm thinking, $200. We sold those modules for 89 bucks, I think. So, yeah, we got screwed whenever all this stuff started going up and they just bought us out. All right, GPU still not detected. All right, I got to pull the board. We're going to get going on this. I got 45 minutes. And I got a hard cutoff too, so it's not even like a soft cutoff. So let me pull the board out. We're going to get down to business. We're going to figure out if we have some sort of missing voltage rail or something like that that powers it. So again, we have a CPU, GPU combo. The GPU is going to have its own power rail that powers the actual GPU core itself, and then we're going to have a power rail that powers the VRAM, which is the video memory for that graphics card. And so one of those two things are going to be missing, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Okay. Last March was $227. So that's 4x. Man, that's 4 times the money. Now, I wouldn't mind knowing how many people would spend $1,000 on that right now. I mean, I guess if they could afford it, but it's like, you know, like I could probably afford it, but it's like, is it worth it? That's what I'm thinking. Like the performance boost, the return on the ROI. Is that $1,000 worth the ROI? Wolfie, I'm excited for you, buddy, because I want to know what we're getting. That's crazy. Nope, 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 help, nope. That's if you can afford it. I'm just saying, like, if it's not an option, money's not an option, but you're just thinking logically whether it's a a value, the return on investment. Data centers suck. But when we get them in space, it'll be better. Uh-oh, I better shut up. I always end up saying something that's going to start something. So forget I just said that. Polls up. There you go. Get the poll. 100% no. 100% no. 100% no. That's funny. Man. What were you upgrading from? Now, there may be something else to think about. Wolfie may be upgrading from 8 gigs of RAM. Ramageddon. That's pretty much what it is. Pretty much. If money was no object, it doesn't matter. The cost doesn't matter. Yeah. It supports the companies. I refuse to support these companies that make the price jumps. I'm kind of on board with that. I understand that completely. Because the fact that people are still paying the money, then it justifies the price, right? Because the cure for high prices is high prices. Have you ever heard that before? And the cure for low prices is low prices, right? Because it's basically going to get to a point where consumers can't pay for it, or businesses can't pay for it, or whatever it is. And then if the prices got too low, then it's too low, then manufacturers won't manufacture it. And so there's a whole thing there. It's the same thing with oil and all that stuff. So as things start doing a supply and demand curve and it starts going up higher and higher, you are always trying to figure out like what's going to be the top. Well, the top is going to be where it's not sustainable for one of those segments. What's the max for, it's around 15th, 7th gen. That's probably on the 32 maybe, but 16 gigs of RAM would probably be reasonable for that machine for 7th gen. I'm so happy with 192 gigs of RAM. You are spoiled for the 192 gigs of RAM. I bought a combo, 32 gigs, skill, for 400 bucks. Well, last year when I got this machine to set up for this, I bought 64 gigs of RAM, and I was able to get it for like $350, and then they didn't even work in this machine, so I had to trade with my employee, and he gave me his 32 gig kit, so I only have 32 gigs of RAM in here. And he has 64 gigs. But that was the only way I could get some RAM that was at a reasonable price. Scammers all over America. They're all scammers. Get this thing open here. Trying to get to the GPU. RAM is so expensive. Yeah, I just want to sell my RAM. Some of these machines that come in, though, we're working on that have so much RAM in it, and the machine's not even worth as much as the RAM at that point. It's almost like selling a car that has like a rare engine or something that's worth more than the engine, than the car itself. I don't know if that's really the case, but transmissions. Used DDR4, one stick. Where'd it go? $80. Brand new, $200. $80's reasonable, I would say. Not too bad. All right, so this has PTM 7950 on it. So it's been PTM'd, which is nice. PTM'd a little. You see how PTM kind of really smears over? So you don't have to be perfect on putting the square on there. So if you're worried about like having it overflow, it like squishes everywhere too, just the same. So that's all fine and dandy. But I'm going to take off this cover here because we got to get to the GPU. So here's our Intel CPU with integrated graphics, and here's our GPU. And we just kind of want to take a look at this and figure out if we have anything weird. Anything weird. Radeon 970 at the same price, long term. I mean, our graphics cards aren't crazy price. I mean, I guess the high-end graphics cards, but are we still having crazy graphic card prices? Or because I feel like you can get like a 4070 or 4080 for a reasonable price, right? Or is that still crazy? I don't know. I don't look at that stuff. So here's our VRAM power supply. Wait a minute. Here's our VRAM power supply. It's going to be these two MOSFETs that power the output to these coils or inductors, and then that's going to power these VRAM modules that are around here. And then we're going to have, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 power phases for the GPU itself. And let's just see if any of these look suspicious. Hold on, let me fix my microscope. It's all messed up from us contorting into different shapes here. Okay, so this one looks a little sus, but I think it's just a little juice. There's a little bit of juice on here. $4,000 for a 4000 series. That does not sound like a good deal to me. No, sir, I don't like it at all. Okay, that's just a little juice. Wheezing the juice. Why is there juice on these guys? Is that what you're asking? Well, that's because there's these rubber pads that have these little oil that comes out of it. It's just a little juice, nothing to worry about. All right, let's measure these power rails and figure out if we have weird measurements or anything. VRAM usually is what? What kind of RAM do we have? SK Hynix, what is it, 30? Is that right? 30 ohms is what we're looking for, and I think Samsung's 50 or vice versa, vicer. So when we measure this power rail, we should have something right around 30 to 50. Someone knows, I can't remember. Happy afternoon, good chat. Hello, Ken, you made it. We've been waiting for you. So we're at 38, so that looks good. So 38 ohms on these VRAM power supplies are good. Samsung's 33, so I guess SK Hynix is 38, right? That should be fine. And then if we measure our the VRMs for this, these are going to be 0.3 usually, 0.4, 0.1. Seems a little lower than normal. I don't know. Crystal oscillator, does it? Yeah, I've never changed a crystal oscillator on this one, but I wouldn't say it's unlikely. So we have a crystal oscillator there, but that one's right next to the CPU. Let's see if we have any more. So in the past, we've had the crystal oscillator go out, and that causes the thing that not come on. I know you guys. Sorry, I keep taking the meter off the screen because I want it to have clear output. So this one was measuring 0.1. So almost 0. It's crazy. So that's a little lower than normal. So I don't know if that's if we have a shorted MOSFET on one of these phases, or the PWM controller or something like that. But we do have good measurements on here. So that's what we're looking for. I'm just going to keep looking up here instead to make sure the meter's fine. I know. I'm going to add a command for you guys that's going to be !meter, and then that way you can put it back up there. I was just experimenting with having the meter kind of come down and go back whenever I'm working on stuff, but I don't know if it's more of a hassle. Let's figure out if this is the one for the GPU or not. It's so close to the CPU though. Right? What do you think? CPU's right there. Do you guys know? Anyone know? Inject it and go thermal. I'm gonna plug it in actually. Where's my I need a DC jack? Where's my bag of jacks? I got a bag of jacks. Do you have a bag of jacks? If you have a bag of jacks, then you can plug in any motherboard that's ever existed. Got my bag of jacks, and I'm gonna just plug it in under the thermal camera. We're gonna see if the GPU even lights up, if it gets flames a little bit. All right, we're going to plug it in. So this is the CPU. CPU's on. GPU. So the GPU, that's the PWM controller on the GPU. But nothing is firing up at all. And I have to unplug. No, it's not hot enough yet. But we don't have any of the power phases are on at all. Let me measure to see what voltages we're going to get on these. We'll do split screen for you. So I'm going to measure right here. And then this is the GPU core. And then we're just trying to figure out if these VRMs are turning on. But they're not, probably. But there may be some voltage on them. I don't know. No voltage at all, and then no voltage there. All right, so we're going to walk around first and just look for visual inspection, because we may have some sort of blown component that we're missing. So that's going to be my first step, and figure out if we are getting voltages here, if we're getting the power to these VRMs. And the crystal oscillator, I know that we've used that to fix stuff in the past. I've never done it on this machine before. We did see that the PWM controller was warm. You guys yell if you see anything. That, I think, goes to this. And that one looks a little weird, but CPU is obviously working. I still want to check to see if that's the one, but I don't think it is. The other, because there's two of them here. So it could be this one's for that and this one's for that, or the other way around. This board number, by the way, is a 651P. 651P. Let me see if I have that board that we can look at. MOSFET controller. It could be a MOSFET controller. Yep, something's blown. Now, if the core was shorted, then usually the machine, I don't know. I feel like it would turn on. Depends. Each one of these machines are so different with the way that it handles stuff. So what I'm looking for right now is a board view for it, and I do have one. Hooray! All right. All right, so we're going to switch here to this mode real quick. So this right here is Paul Daniels software. It's Flex Board View. And so this is the motherboard that we're looking at or working on right now. We can actually zoom in. And so you can see here's our GPU, here's our CPU. We were just looking at it. And this is the crystal oscillator that is in question, whether it goes to the CPU or GPU. And is it going to give me any information about it? I don't know. What about the schematic? The schematic says PCH. Okay, so the chipset or PCH is built onto this. So this is for the PCH, and then the CPU is here. So we still haven't found the crystal for this. So I got to find that. PCH again. So we need to look for another something. YC 2. Okay, so here's the other crystal that's right there. Where does this go? PCH again. Okay. What are you guys saying? Black dot in the core. Yeah, you're right. What is that? I think it's just dirty. It's just dirty. That's fine. Why the crystal if the coil is shorted? The coil's not shorted. Coil's not shorted. Let me show you a regular machine. So if y'all see that 0.1 and you're like, oh, that's shorted. I don't think it's shorted all the way, per se. At least. Let's see. Here's another one. Similar machine. So you're always going to have really low resistance on these things, and so like here's another board, and usually 0.3 is kind of what I go for, but I've seen lower, so I'm not super concerned. But yeah, this is 0.3. It's not 0.1, so maybe it does have an internal core short. Yeah, 0.2, 0.15. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we should inject some voltage in there and see if the core gets hot or if one of our MOSFETs gets hot, because we could have a short in one of our MOSFETs too. So I don't know if we're crystalling right now, if we're going crystal. So the whole point of the crystal oscillator, by the way, too, is that we usually, whenever I had the crystal oscillator issue, we would have partial voltage on here. We're going to have like 0.3 volts, and then the crystal oscillator doesn't allow it to go to 0.75 when it needs to, and so then we change out the crystal, it fixes that and makes this. So right now we're not getting any voltage on there, so we're going to be like out of that. So where do you get the schematic with the board view like that? You don't get anything with anything. So Flex Board View is a piece of software you can purchase, or you have a free version, pauldaniels.com maybe, or something like that, or flexboardview.com. And then your board views and schematic type of stuff, that's going to be stuff that's in the ether, so you just go out and you search for it. So you would search for this right here. Search for that number and schematic or whatever. You can go to Bad Caps, was a good resource for a long time. You have to pay a membership there now. There's other websites you have to pay. Bad Caps would be the most reliable to pay a membership to if you're going to do that. And then they have stuff on there. That's where you get it, but you don't get it. It's not like yeah. it's a super, you know, gray area. Okay, so what I'm saying, we went thermal already, but there's no heat going on here, but we can look at one more time. I just want to see if the PWM controller is getting, how hot it's getting or what. So you can see right here that we do have the PWM controller on in this corner. And something here. Those reflections or what? Can't tell. So I just want to inject some voltage and then see what it's doing. So I'm going to inject it right on the actual coil of the GPU. And the core should get hot, but if we have something else going on, if this is like super shorted, then we're going to have it go a little crazier. Ask AI to help you find it. Does AI really know where it is? That'd be interesting. I haven't ever tried that. So when we inject voltage, especially into a CPU, or a GPU, excuse me, 0.7 volts, 0.8 volts, is these things run at 0.75, so. And we do have 2 amps going in, so let's take a look at where that's going. No, it's not the core. Oh, shootness. Is that edge right there? Or is that a reflection? I can't tell, I got so many reflections. You get a reflection, you get a reflection. See if I can get this lined up good. I don't see anything. You see the core? Like, I'm trying to get a good angle here. It is the core, but it's maybe on the other side. Okay, it's off. Get ready. It's not the center of the core. So is it on the back side? Huh. What do you guys think? Let me check the other side. Let me find a spot over here to inject. So this is the back side of the GPU itself. And so what if we had just a shorter capacitor back here? That'd be crazy. So that's 0.167. And that's wait a minute. 0.16, 0.15. Okay, 0.6. So this would be our side that we'll only need to inject on. Okay. Let's do it. Yeah, it's still kind of diffuse right here. It's like under the core or in the core. Should we lift off the coils? I don't know. This is a weird one. This is one of the weirder ones I've seen, because normally you inject voltage here and it will just light up the core. What do you want me to do? Here. Let me do this for a second. I have to run to the bathroom real quick. Give me a second. I'll be right back. And then y'all think about it amongst yourselves. Tell me if you want me to just take off these take off the coils, because I may just lift the coils and kind of figure out if we have something on a MOSFET side, because that's kind of what I'm thinking. The bypass method, we could see if yeah, let's do a bypass method. That's a good idea. Let me try that. Oh man, that lemon and cayenne pepper. Whew, that was tough. Quick, hide his chair. We could hear you. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, feel the burn. That was tough. Man, that was a hard one. All right, the lemon cayenne pepper. I don't know. So am I ranking this as something that cleans you out? Yeah, I think so. That was a. I think I'm good to go. Setting title needs peeing now. Okay, bypass method. Okay, so if we had a bypass method, we're trying to figure out what MOSFETs shorted. Well, none of these MOSFETs are shorted. That's the problem with the bypass method. I was trying to think about like how we were supposed to do that. So the bypass method would be taking a probe coming from the, let's see, GPU side, and then going all the way to the main power rail side, which would be over here somewhere. And we don't have a short there, is the thing, because these aren't shorted out. So bypass method doesn't technically work. That's ground on this side. So that's kind of the only problem with that. I almost want to tombstone some of these just to kind of figure out if we have one of these just kind of acting funny. Now we did have the PWM controller coming on. We can also just probe each one of these, maybe the PWM pins. Maybe that may be something to do. I'm just trying to think, because it's definitely a weird one. Dilithium crystals. I've depleted my dilithium crystals. Let me find the PWM pins here on these, because that's also, I want to see if we have some bad measurements on those. So if we come over here to our PWM, so this thing, this chip right here, controls these MOSFETs right here, and so they're basically going to pulse it, and so they have a pulse width that they're going to be sending, which is somewhere. PWM 1, so there's one that we need to measure. 2, and 3, and 4. So these 4 right here in this corner, and 5. We're going to measure all those, make sure that we have a good diode measurement on all those. So we're going to go in diode mode and measure those, just in case, just for good. Yeah, it could be bad. I have another one I'm working on right now that has that same issue. Has a bad one. So I'm in diode mode, red probe on ground, and we're going to measure these corner pins here. So this one first. 0.5. They should all measure about the same. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. So all those are good. Carefully calibrated coil. Better than Taco Bell. Tombstone, remember, ended up pulling down and causing a problem, so you realized that. Oh yeah, there was one that had something underneath. That would be something to check. I've been running into quite a few of these now where the actual output isn't connected, which I think is funny. Let's see. The trick that I've been using on this, let me see how we have this set up here. If we look at the output, that connects to this right here. So we need to make sure that these are all connected together, because these should all connect together across here, and they should all have measurements across everywhere. And so running into one of those, having issues. Just to make sure all these are connected. This last one is on this edge here. Can't get in there. Can't get in there. Okay, so those are all connected. All right, so we've checked that. What else? Should we just change out the PWM controller and just move on? Reflow the entire board? That's a good one. Full of great ideas. Resistance of the coils. The resistance of the coils are already too low. But why? Change the PWM controller. It takes me 2 seconds to change the PWM controller. So if we want to just do that, we can knock it out, bruh. We can knock it out, bruh. Let's see. What chip do we have? NCP 81610. And I got one right here, by golly. So we can just swap these out and see if we do anything different. 1.8 volt rail. It should be present because the machine's running. It boots up, it runs. The GPU is just not there. So you're saying PEX or whatever. I assume it's there. Are we getting all the voltage to this chip too? That'd be the other thing. Maybe we'll check the VDD on our PWM. Let me go back and see what our actual voltages we're supposed to have on our PWM controller. I hate when we have issues like this. Let's see. VDD. So that's a reference voltage. It's trying to read what voltage is coming out. Let's see. Enable VDD. So we need to make sure we have voltage here. Where else? And there. So I think we should have voltage on both of those. I think. So we could have a RIP component on the edge of the board. Because I've seen that before. Actually, did we do our physical inspection all the way? Because this had PTM on it. And that's not factory. Right? So did someone take this apart and then put it back together and then said, I don't know why the GPU doesn't work? We didn't check for that. We didn't check for that. Let's make sure we don't have anything ripped off the board. I had one where I chased down this thing forever and ever, and I could not figure out why the GPU wasn't detected. And then it had like a resistor ripped off the board, like right here next to the DC jack, and he had taken it apart to change the DC jack. But he didn't tell me. He didn't think of a cause and effect thing. And seeing how it just seems strange that it's not working. Cracked solder joint? I don't know. It's not me. I can concur. I concur. But blown resistors will do it. That's the problem. So we're going to make sure we have all our voltages to the PWM controller before we replace it. But I mean, seeing these types of things ripped off would be very telling. If we see anything ripped off, what time is it? Oh, we only got 15 minutes, guys. 15 minutes to save another laptop. Okay, that all looks fine. I just want to look around here one more time. So all that looks good, right? All of it looks good. I just don't see it. I don't see it. All right, let's measure the voltage on here. So we're going to make sure that we have, where was it? It was, do you remember where the measurements were on that? 16 minutes. We'll remind you in 6 minutes. Thank you. Missing thing caused low resistance. No, you're right. It won't. Except if you have some sort of gate or something, some sort of voltage that's still in capacitors that's kind of pulling it down, making it a false kind of low. It's probably just a bad core. I mean, that's probably all it is. But what I'm looking at was this, where we have this thing here, enable NVVD, right? DD, and that's an enable, and that comes over here, and it comes over to the edge of the board, so I was worried about something being ripped off. But let's make sure we have voltage here and here. No, wait. Is that right? No, it's here. So we have two caps this direction, and then we have a resistor this way. And that one's probably not going to be there because it's not on. But, all right. So that would be, so we need to measure here and we need to measure here. You see how that's not even populated, but this one and this one. And then I probably have to just, here I'm going to do diode mode first, but we don't have much time, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to. That's measuring fine, and that's measuring fine for diode mode, and then now we're going to put it in voltage mode and power it on. Both sides of the resistor. Okay. Is the voltage going to the GPU? No, the GPU is not getting any voltage at all. So PWM, this kind of warms up a little bit, and no voltage comes over here. So none of these power phases are coming on at all. So either this is not working, or it's not getting all the voltage, or something like that, or something else is going on. Okay, so I'm going to measure right here. I'm going to plug it in. Oops. Okay. It's plugged in. And we don't have voltage there. What about here? We got 5 volts there. Back over here. Still don't have voltage there. Okay. So we have 5 volts going to this chip over here. 5 volts here. And then we don't have an enable signal. And that's going to be coming from over here. So it's looking for this to be turned on. So we don't have our 0.95, which is over here. So let's make sure this is working. .18, there's no short. I mean, it's not 0 ohm short, if anything. So I'm just going to measure in this area real quick. So we have 10 ohms here. I think that's okay. I'm going to go in voltage mode, and I'm going to plug in the board and just measure on this right here. This actually feeds another line that makes everything okay. It's powered on. Don't have anything. Nothing. What do you got? 10-minute warning. Thank you. Yeah, I may just have to stop and just chat for a little bit because I have a hard cutoff, guys. And we have 20 volts going into this chip right here. So either this is not getting an enable now, or the chip is bad, because I believe it needs this before it can turn this on, because that signal's missing and it's coming from this. So now we've got to figure out this enable. Let's tell them the mic was hot. The mic was spicy. All right, let's see the enable on this guy. I'm just curious here. So enable right here. Is that it? Enable, and that's coming from right here. Oh, that's sending the output. Wait a minute. I don't think I have time to figure this thing out, man. PEX VDD 1 volt rail could be the issue. That's what I'm kind of thinking. RG115. RG115. Where's that? RG115. RG115. Missing that. I feel like I've seen this before. Let's sit back and chat. I think we're going to have this chat. I'm going to set this off to the side. Let me just, yeah, let's just call it, because I have to quit in a few minutes anyway. So anyway, let's just chat for a little bit. I can set this aside and maybe do it for another time, or I'll probably figure it out later. But anyway, all right. So that was a kind of a fun day, I guess. We didn't fix 2 laptops. We only fixed one. One of them partially worked anyway. It had a burnt thing, but this one could be, yeah, missing the PEX or the 1 volt line, 0.95. So definitely could be at that. I am cutting it short today, so we have 8 minutes, and then I can get out of here. So if you guys want to ask me some questions, I can chat with you for a little bit, answer those questions the best of my ability for the next few minutes. And we can do that. Let me pull up my chat window here so it's easier to read. You gotta go. Have a great day. Well, thank you, Craig. Thanks for coming out. I'm putting my M15R6 back together right now. Did you already clean it? You did it while we were in the stream the whole time? That's crazy. Crazy dope moves. Water damage, I said, but make sure to take pictures of all the water damage, okay? Well, good luck. Should have started this one. Should have started with this one. Oh, you're right. Yeah, I know. I'm upgrading my Dell XPS 1710. Ooh, M1710. You forgot the M on there. It's 20 years old. That's going to be a fun one. Remember, everyone, hit the like button. Any chance you can go over a build sheet quickly, explain some stuff on there? MQ4 service tag. Let me see what this looks like. If you want to give us a call, that would be easier to go over at STL. I don't think I have time to go over it right this second, but if you want to give either the repair department a call or my customer service people, they can run the service tag and kind of explain stuff to you, because we run those all day long and talk to people about it. So I don't think I have time to do it right this second. Do you sell any donor boards? I do not sell donor boards. You need one for an M15R7 AMD. I don't, because I don't get necessarily tons of them. Of these higher end machines, they're always just going to be kind of sparse. Sometimes I get in a load of stuff that has a couple, but it's not like I'm getting big truckloads of bad boards or that are higher end boards. I'll get like tons of old Latitudes or things like that. That's not a big deal. So, but yeah, so I definitely wouldn't be able to give you one of those. What's the status on the Alienware, the old pre-Dell Alienware? It's still sitting here. I haven't worked on it at all. It's still in pieces. It's sitting in a bin right here. So we will see about revisiting that in a future stream coming up. Part 2. We'll part 2 it. Has been crazy weather subsided in Texas around you. It's now just hot. 106 degrees today. It'll be hot and spicy. I finally fixed my air conditioner in my garage, because I have a mini split in there and it stopped blowing cold, and that's where my office is. So it's just in the garage because my house is small, and it's been very hot in there. So words are hard. You like that? So this shirt was donated by Jack. He came in, gave it to me. It's not a shirt that I sell or anything, but it's I just appreciate him bringing that to me, and it definitely is hard for me to read words, so it's very appropriate. After doing this for so long, what type of repair is most interesting? The rabbit holes or the ones where you can get it done right? The curiosity loop I definitely want to close. So whenever I find a new issue, I find it interesting. Like, so this issue right here, actually I am finding it interesting, because it's like, oh, this is gone, this isn't here, oh, well, this is missing then. Okay, this is missing. I really like that. I don't like where I'm like, this is blown, this is blown, this is blown, this is blown, and then I have to like kind of do that rabbit hole. I don't like those. Just some money to say thank you. Great stream. Hope your daughter has a good time. Thank you so much for that, Chris. Yeah, I am taking my daughter to a sleepaway camp right now, so that's where we're about to drive, hour and something, to go drop her off, and so that's why we have to dodge out early today. What's your favorite pizza? You know, I do like vegetable pizzas, and then I will get a like pepperoni. I don't know. I like anything on it. I like Mediterranean pizzas. I like pepperoni pizzas. Canadian bacon, pineapple. I don't know. I'm very open. Mushrooms. I like everything on them, so I don't really care. I'm a very open person when it comes to that stuff. Open book. Let's see what you said here. Somebody said something and it just jumped again. Hank, thank you. Have a good day too. If the GPU sometimes shows in the OS and sometimes not, can you reflow it to fix it? I don't know, if it's a sometimes thing. We had that's an issue whenever we had a crystal oscillator showing up, so that could be some sort of syncing up of frequencies, whether it's the core or it's not. I don't think, a lot of times the core needing to be resoldered isn't the solution a lot of times. If 1 volt doesn't turn on, the EC won't give it an enable signal, if I'm correct. That sounds logical to me. E6400 still works. Is it worth upgrading? No, it's not worth spending a bunch of money on at all, because you can't run Windows 11 or 10. I mean, I guess you can run 10 on it, but I don't want you to spend a bunch of money on that. It's a 2nd gen processor, so you really can't go very far with that. So the works. A tuna pizza. I have never had a tuna pizza. We were in Italy and we had a pizza that had Swiss chard on it, and it was not very good. And I do like veggies on there, but it was really chardy. So I need a chicken bacon pepper pizza. I had a barbecue pizza the other day, barbecue sauce and all that stuff. That was pretty good too. Tuna onion pizza. I've never had that before. That's crazy. Let's see what you said. Pineapple, black olive, jalapeno. Ooh, that's good. That's a good mix. I do like jalapenos on there. My laptop is still not showing any signs of life. It's hard. All right, Doc is ready to become a moderator. Doc is ready. All right, Doc, you're getting promoted right now. Let me see if I can find your tag here. Doc has been a long-time supporter of the channel and is ready to become the next chapter. If I can find you, where are you at? It's hard, you're moving around so fast here. There we go, Doc. Doc White. Is a moderator. There we go. You're good, Doc. You're all set. Thanks for the support and help. 2-minute warning. Oh, shoot. Okay. Let's see. Even bad pizza is good pizza for me. That's exactly the way I think about it, too. Pineapple pulled pork. Ooh, that sounds good. And Gouda cheese. I love that. Doc Holiday. Thank you so much for the streams and the laughs. You guys made me crack up earlier. I don't know. I just could not stop laughing. It was good. If you reflow the motherboard, can't you pick up or switch the CPU? I mean, it's not as easy as that. It's a lot of work. Yeah, I mean, you can pull CPUs. We've done it on a stream before. Maybe we'll do it again sometime, but it's not easy. So, need some flight gloves. Would that work? Only been around since the 5000E days. Yeah, Doc had bought something from me like early days of the business, so that was 20-something years ago. Does your overhead camera have a manual zoom? Yeah, that's what I'm using. Is I'm just spinning my camera lens itself, and that's it, because it's just a camera overhead here. I'm going to my own. Let's see. Need to check for shorts. Okay, I have to call it for the day. It is noon. I am having to cut it off short today, but I appreciate everybody coming out today. We had a little bit of shenanigans, a little bit of repairing, and a little bit of, I'll have to look at this later to figure this one out. So, but I appreciate everybody who came to support the stream, donated money to the stream, donated gifted memberships, all that type of stuff. That does go, it helped me out a lot because I do spend a lot of time on these things, and it's a lot of work to put out all this content. And I appreciate you supporting me in that way. Before you leave, just hit the like button. That also pushes the stream up so other people can kind of find it for the first time. If they've never seen me, be crazy. Anyway, thank the mods for keeping the chats clean. It is a lot of work for those guys. I don't pay them anything. I need to come up with some sort of compensation plan, but I don't know how to pull that off. But I appreciate them doing all that they do, and I appreciate everybody coming out. The next stream is going to be next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but I'll figure out that, and appreciate everyone, and thanks for watching.